Evolution. Perfect. Okay, so we should be good to go now. Welcome, welcome. I have updated my tier list somewhat. We've also updated the patch notes. There was a small patch yesterday, not really much relevant with it. A few little bug fixes, basically just a hot fix. It seems like it has not really changed much with the gameplay. So we'll just go ahead and jump in. Play a couple games. I had a few pretty bad games yesterday, a couple 8ths in a row. I dipped down below 4K for a hot second when I was offline. I was pretty tilted about that, but I have since recovered them. I have updated the tier list some because it feels like there are a few heroes that are a little bit better than what maybe were previously. I do believe that we'll take a Wonder Waddle here. I like Wonder Waddle quite a bit. I'm going to confirm that here. And then we'll get in and see what we start off with. Hopefully it's a mouse, but, you know, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Let's see. So there is Cinderella Mysterious Scroll. That does get us pretty close to a tier 2 treasure, sort of right off the bat. I'm not sure if Cinderella really is something that we need on Waddle, though. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think I'm going to take it. I find that Mysterious Scroll has a lot of potential on turn 2 anyway. Being able to give you an extra hero, an extra unit, or Shrink. Shrink is also very strong. And we weren't really going to win combat there anyway. We would have been able to tie. So here I'm actually going to Mysterious Scroll before I buy anything. So it did end up being Shrink, which is pretty great. So I believe that I will take that, and I think we'll take the Minotaur, and I will lock. I'll probably give up on the Lonely Prince if we don't end up hitting a princess of some sort, ranged unit. I think we'll arrange them like this. Maybe like this. Hi, Amiji. How you doing? Interesting. So it looks like we ended up getting cats and dragons here. I'm not in love with the dragon. I do actually like casting the spell here to get us a little bit closer to getting this treasure next turn. I think we'll take the cat and the Lonely Prince in that world, and then we'll actually just buff the... we'll buff this in the back here. So just rearrange our units a little bit. I want to try and get the black cat hitting twice so that it gets the most buffs from the Minotaur it can. We're not incredibly strong here. Merlin's probably going to beat us up. But we do have a guaranteed tier 2 treasure next turn if we want it. Excellent. That was really good for us. We very well may be able to beat him here. Yes, it looks like we're okay. Great. So we saved a little bit of life there, which is impressive given that that is Merlin. So it's nice getting a bit of extra health. I think in this spot we're going to take more than one unit, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink first. I'm going to go ahead and shrink, and it is a bit awkward to take the Crown of Atlas with the Minotaur, but I think it's going to be correct more often than not, because the Minotaur really isn't that important to our strategy, and we're going to be picking up a lot of animals realistically anyway. So we'll go ahead and grab that, and then I do like Shepherd's Sling, but I think given that we're Wonder Waddle and we're going to be switching out a lot of our units pretty quickly, I think Fairy Tales should be pretty strong. It could let us get into something like a Hippogriff, something along those lines. I'm not in love with the Romeo here, so I am actually just going to roll. I think we'll pick up this pair as well. We will grab the Spinning Wheel, and I'm going to lock for the Prized Pig. So we actually gained quite a bit of power on that turn. I believe that this Minotaur probably should have been in this slot. Him having a tier 4 unit there is pretty bad for us. It has a lot of stats. Hopefully we can get the Lonely Prince or this to snipe it. We're going to be a little bit weak here, given that he actually got the Slay off. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and pick up the Prized Pig, and then we'll roll. I don't mind the Good Witch of the North, given that we are going to have essentially all good units going forward. I think it's probably worthwhile. It should make us a bit stronger, especially with the Black Cat in the front here. Because effectively it will be 2 5/6s, which is going to be better than almost any other thing that we're going to be able to put there. I want to put the 5/1 over here. This slot is most likely to get attacked without being able to attack itself. And it really isn't doing much beyond being a 5 attack, 1 health minion here. So the only thing that this is really weak against right now is Earthquake. It's possible that we could sell the Lonely Prince just to cast our own Earthquake. That might be stronger than what we have now, given that the 1/1 is really not that strong. We're essentially spending 2 gold to try and be a little bit stronger to hopefully keep this Prize Pig around, which I think is correct. So it did end up giving him a bunch of attack with this, but I think it's correct because it actually killed one of the cats, and should make us plenty strong enough to keep this pig around. Excellent, so we're going to get the extra 2 gold from this. Certainly pays for the Earthquake itself. And it's not like that one unit was really going to make or break our ability to succeed here. So there are no animals here. I'm going to go ahead and roll. We have a ton of gold. If we find a mouse or something, or even an EXP spell, we're in a spot where we can take it. Crafty is at its best on Wonder Waddle this early, since we have 3 treasures. It's just an 11/11 for 2, which is a very, very favorable rate for us. Certainly going to be stronger than this Minotaur here. I don't really love any more of the 2-drop animals. We don't particularly need more 2s, except for the mouse. And possibly more crafties. I'd rather look for like a 3 or a perfect. Okay. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Are any of these better than what we have up here? I do like the Crown of Atlas a lot. I do like the Fairy Tale a lot. Again, we're still looking to shift out a bunch of our units. It's possible that we can take Fancy Pants over the Spinning Wheel here. And then I actually think that we can sell the Cinderella and the Labyrinth Minotaur and buy this donkey. Given that it'll make it into a 5/9, we can put it in the back here. And then I think maybe something like this. Being that we've already lost 11 life, I didn't really want to use the Forbidden Fruit, though that was also a consideration to be able to afford the donkey here. His White Stag getting super buff from this Lady of the Lake is pretty bad for us. He's also going to get the Slay over here. It depends on sort of where this donkey ends up hitting on whether or not we're going to be able to be successful against this Lady of the Lake here. Unfortunately, it shot the pig twice in a row, which is really bad for us. Given that it had 11 attack, it is not ideal. That outcome was pretty rough for us. We could pick up Copycats. We don't really have much beyond this Friendly Spirit here that we can support. Friendly Spirit just being a 4/4. but it does lean you into the ability to do copycat with other stuff later. We don't actually have the guaranteed first attack yet, so it may not be strong enough here. Yeah, I don't think that we can afford that, and we're maybe a bit weak to be able to actually take the Turkish Delight. I think it's still going to be correct anyway a lot of the times, so I am going to take it here and then roll. I'll pick this up. It's going to be better than the Blind Mouse in the short term. And then we'll go ahead and roll. I'm going to lock for this Polywoggle. So I like the Polywoggle here, and I do like grabbing this to make sure that if we do get to 5 with even 22 life, we only really need to find 2 polys to be able to try to shoot for a 6-drop. So now I'm going to grab this and then be on the lookout for a Grimsoul. Hopefully he doesn't have an incredible amount of attacks so that we're okay here. That was really good for him. He has a ton of defense, which is going to be really bad for us. Looks like he maybe knighthooded the adventurer here, so we're going to get smashed a bit on this combat as well, which is kind of unfortunate. We did get 1 extra unit off the donkey, which is nice. So this is pretty fortuitous for us. This having a breakpoint where it didn't die to 1 hit from Good Witch allows us to win combat and actually keep the pig. So we'll take the poly, which it's nice that it actually gets the extra stats from the Fancy Pants as well. I don't mind Fairy Godmother. I also don't mind the Bearded Vulture. Vulture certainly would make us a lot stronger. It makes these crafties a little awkward and this Good Witch. But it would be, what, 3, 6, 9, 12. So it's like a 17-17 roughly, which is bigger than this crafty. And we may be able to actually just shave the Good Witch entirely and possibly sneak another animal in here. I think it's going to be correct to pick it up. And then maybe give up on the Fairy Godmother. I would rather be a little bit stronger as far as my animal synergies than the good synergies, because there really isn't enough room to do both. So we'll grab that. I don't mind the Sheep and Wolves closing. I think I'd rather try to roll for one of these. We did find a Grimsoul here. We're probably going to take some damage to grab it, but I believe that it's still correct. I'm trying to decide if the Blind Mouse is better than this. I don't think that it is. I think we'll try to make our backline as strong as we can. I'm not too worried about this losing 2-3 in stats, because it ends up being 3-3 on this, which ends up about breaking even, but then we have a 13-13 in the back instead of a 3-3. So we did get to spawn an extra unit, that's nice. The range units are going to beat us up a little bit here, but it shouldn't be too bad because this donkey's going to farm a bit in the front line. Our prize pig should be able to live just fine. Looks like we triggered a Puff Puff as well, so maybe we got to transition back into that. Obviously that was a joke. It is just not a good place to be typically. I do think I'll pick up the Wombat pair. Having a couple of those doesn't seem terrible to me. So we'll get rid of this. We'll grab this. I'm trying to decide what I want to shave for it. Possibly this donkey. We could just give up on one of the crafties here too. Because I like both of these and I actually do still like the Blind Mouse. Donkey's about past its prime. Man, you know what? It's probably just the Billy Goat. So we'll grab this and then we'll roll. We could upgrade this or this. I don't think we want to do that. I think we'll just roll again. The end is quite strong. Or can be at least. I think I'm going to roll over it because we do have a lot of 2s that we're looking to hit here. So this is our Wombat triple. I think we're going to go ahead and lock that. We're going to use the extra attack on the pig here. And I think I'm going to put this donkey here because it's going to give +3 on this and might actually trigger an additional unit. Hopefully these wombats carry us a bit here. Looking for something like Jormungand out of this one would be really strong. Looks like it was a Grumblegore both times, which unfortunately is not going to be super good here. And we're going to get farmed a bit by this Court Wizard. Our backline is pretty big though. This Pumpkin is a bit of a disaster for us. I believe it's only going to spawn one unit, but that unit is typically going to be pretty big and it's going to protect his ranged unit here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. The way the combat played out there was not ideal. This got 6 extra shots off. We are going to take the triple Wombat here. So we get some decent options. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards Mimic. Our Fancy Pants is already past its prime. It would allow us to get a little bit better benefit out of Fairy Tail for now. Tree Life and Horn are fine, but not really awesome. And Mimic can allow us to get into a lot of really good stuff. And it's going to make us a bit stronger for this turn. I don't need an additional Grim Soul here, so I think I can just roll away from that. We can pick up the triple Crafty here. So we could pick up Wild Growth and actually lock trees. That's probably going to be better than Fairy Tail at the very least. We may not have the room to be able to support that right now, but it is something that we can look at in the next tier, I think, once we get to 6. Really would have liked to find that Poly. We found a Donkey. I think we can lock the triple Donkey because there are some 3s that are really nice. I am going to actually put the Polywoggle in. If he gets a Slay, great. If not, he just pumps the Vulture a little bit. We are a bit weak on this particular combat, however. Losing the extra cat there is kind of brutal, too. Depends on what comes out of this and whether or not the Medusa hits it. Okay, Medusa hit here, so that's good for us. That can hit there, this will shoot there, this will hit there. So we don't get to keep the Pig Gold, but we don't actually take any damage here. Our backline is pretty weak. The Pig is basically past its prime at this point. I'm going to take this just to see what we find. I think we're kind of done with the good animal synergy. I'm not sure that this is necessary for us anymore, given that we have the Wild Growth. So I'm going to take Power Orb over Crown of Atlas. It doesn't really change our stat lines, it just makes them lose good. So it doesn't really hurt much, but it does help us as far as if we find trees to lock on 5. So I will be able to pick up the Polywoggle here. I don't actually want any of this, so we're going to go ahead and skip. So that's effectively free, but then that lets us put the Grim Soul in. I think we can do that over the Pig at this point. Possibly something over the Black Cat would be nice here as well. Nian does let us look at another tier 5 treasure. There is definitely some value in that. We may be able to copycat and have Wombats, second Wombat. I don't mind that. It just does depend on if this gets shot early. I think I don't hate it for one turn. Maybe something like this to see if it'll spawn it. I don't really want another one of these. Kidnap might have been worthwhile there. I think this is an okay board for right now. I'm not super in love with it, though. We are at 16. Alright, so this died, so it's going to spawn a Bearstein. Not too bad. Upgraded Bearstein has decent stats on it. This is not a great spawn for him, so that's good for us. This does need to die before this attacks. Perfect. Grumble's actually quite strong here. Especially given the what our opponent has, so that's pretty good. We'll be able to leverage this pretty well, I think. The Copycat was good for that one turn, so definitely worth spending the 4 gold on. It helped us be a little bit stronger with the extra Wombat trigger. Now I think we can certainly get rid of it. And then just lead this up front. So basically what we're looking for now is to make a bit stronger board and then hopefully lock a tree. Something like an Ashwood would be very, very strong here. This is okay. We're not really in the animals as much anymore. I don't mind the Black Cat in the front, given that we have the Grumblegore here. But it really is not ideal. We're looking for something better than the Vultures, I think. We could have double Apple Tree. We could have double 60 toughness Apple Trees, which does seem pretty great. Unfortunately, we're going to have to lock them and then take these 3 then, if we do that. So what does that look like for us? So if we pick this up, we can get rid of this. We can put this back in. Cast the spell, grab this, sell it, grab this. So this is not awesome. Hopefully the Wombat and the Grumble carry us a bit this round. But 2 of these at 60 toughness are going to be very, very good here. We're going to need this Wombat to do some good work here, I think, and this not to really dump on us. Well, when I said not to dump on us, it just did that anyway, which is unfortunate. So we're going to take quite a bit of damage here, it looks like. Are we just dead? Fuck. Fuck me. Alright, well, I got greedy. I should have just taken the trees there. Those apple trees would have been quite strong given what our opponent was doing, but that really large front line Siren just destroyed us there. Good beats. Yeah, bit of a feels bad. I mean, switching into this tree strategy when we didn't have any EXP probably was a bit ambitious, since we had, what, a single Turkish Delight, which is fine, I guess, but not awesome. Not ramping EXP makes it so it's really hard to kind of keep up with people that did. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the Mimic Wild Growth, and I definitely like locking there. I mean, if we live, having 260 toughness apple trees is, like, pretty strong. But we didn't get there. I mean, he dealt us 17. You know, what are we going to do? We would have actually been fine if he had hit one of our non-upgraded units, but stealing 2 upgraded... stealing 2 upgraded units with the Siren was really brutal there. Especially given that it was one of our bigger guys. Yeah. It's possible that we should have rolled to look for something better to pair with the Grumble. Maybe maybe like a Baby Bear or something that has just additional attacks. Hard to say. We did end up getting a pretty trash tier 6 unit out of the Wombat. I mean, I like picking up the Wombats in that spot, but I think on average the Wombat is pretty butts. Like, there's just so many misses with it that I'm not really in love with it as a card. I mean, if you end up getting basically all of the trees, they're pretty terrible, except for the support, like the 1030. And then I think Lordy is really bad. Like, Pumpkin is okay, because it's just like 2 more units at least. Oni King is fine because he can scale himself. Yorm is fine again for the same reason, because he can scale himself. Do we want to run back a Waddle game, or should we play something else? Shui, why don't you pick? Anything but Pup. I think Pup is garbage. Alright, we'll do another Waddle game. This will be the redemption arc. Maybe we'll try for Hat Ball or something this game instead of weird Mimic Trees that we never actually got to use. It's really sad that we really didn't get to take advantage of that at all. I mean, we could do the same start we did last time. Like, I still don't hate it, though the shop is a lot weaker than it was last time. Yeah, I still like it. I really don't love Cinderella on Waddle because I find that you really don't need to be casting spells to try and force treasures, but I actually do find Mysterious Scroll to have pretty high value a lot of times. Like, there's so few misses with it that are not worth 1 gold. Right? It's literally just Bread Roll is the nightmare scenario. I think we'll do this first. Yeah, so like we got Forbidden Fruit. I think I'm going to pass on the cat and just roll and try and hit something else. We could hit cat here. I might just take Mad Mim and lock the cat. Grab it next turn. It's like 3 worth of stats versus 2 worth of stats. It's possible that I'm supposed to grab the cat first instead of the Mad Mim. I actually think this is right. Yeah, I saw the numbers. I mean, it's pretty tough. Like, basically, if you're looking to assemble it, you just have to hit it right away in order for it to really be reasonable to try and aim for. Like, if you don't hit one of them in the first treasure or two, you probably shouldn't even try to force it. So I think I'll grab it like this and just give up on this spell. Yeah, percentage-wise, like, I didn't look too closely at it. Did they actually calculate it as though you're removing one of the treasures from the pool each time? Like, assuming that you're trying to churn through them to find it, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that makes sense. Like, it gets very close to guaranteed. After not even picking that many treasures, there's just a lot of tier 3s. Like, there's a decent chance of missing quite often with it, which kind of sucks. Especially because they're both on 3. I don't know if one of them maybe needs to move to a different tier or something. They're probably fine where they're at. It might be too good. Double egg. Uh-oh. Why is he so strong? 2, 4, 6, 8. Did he, like... He must have shrunk a board to get 3, 5 units here. I have been so unimpressed with the fucking donkey lately. Every time I take the donkey, I find that he does nothing for me and he does everything for my opponents. And I'm not sure if that's just like a me problem where the donkey feels really bad but is fine, but I am going to take him and I'm going to cast the Kidnap here since we're against Pants, but even with Godmother, I find it. So every time that I have him and I'm like, oh man, I really need the donkey to like carry me in this battle or whatever, he just ends up summoning, you know, a 0/8, or it summons like a doubly, and I'm like, great. Like, he could summon any of the units on this board, and what the fuck does that even do? It's a bunch of 1/1s. Like, that's not even good. It's fine when you're at tier 6 and you're summoning, you know, actual legitimate units if you have an upgraded one. But the unupgraded donkey is just so disappointing. No, why didn't we hit the Brave Princess? Ah, that sucks. It was 1 trigger away, so we would have been able to basically free roll it. I mean, this is pretty good if it gets to attack. Unfortunately, it didn't get to attack before this shot it. If it shot here, we could have farmed both. So we had a 50-50 on that one. You know what? I hope you hit it too. So we do have 2 Cinderellas, interestingly enough. We could use the end on one of them to start leveling up the other one. You know, honestly, I've been using Gwen on Familiar lately and been really disappointed with it. If you miss on Hatball, you end up with a really weak board compared to if you hit like the tree or wait to a 3. I think it's fine, but like frequently the Familiar at the end game is like a 20-20 at the biggest. Unless you're casting a shit ton of spells, basically. Yeah, we can pick up the crown this time again. And then I think I roll, and we'll just grab the chicken and lock this. Like, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I think it is an okay strategy, and if you hit... You know, if you hit a couple scrolls early, or if you hit the hat ball, it can be really good. And at least it can carry you for a couple of rounds. The problem is that because you need to cast spells every turn, there's only so many spells that you can cast per round, right? Hey, King, how you doing? So, like, the average game lasts, what? 13 turns? 13 to 15 turns, I would say. So, in a world where there's 13 to 15 turns... Upgraded egg. Annoying. In the world where there's 13 to 15 turns, assuming that you're only casting 1 spell a turn, if it's upgraded, it's going to be, what, a 26 at the end of the game? which is fine. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not that good either, right? You need even just ball is okay. Like hat is fine, but it's an okay tempo selection for sure. I'm just wondering if it's better tempo to just like slap it on a sleeping princess on 3, right? Because that immediately gives you just like an actual truckload of stats for 3. We could Needle Nose. We're decently strong for that. We could pick up the Court Wizard and put this in the front even to get an extra shot off. I don't love the Court Wizard, but it's like pretty early to have one here. I might just take regular Dancing Sword. Needle Nose is a bit risky. I'm going to take this and rearrange it like this and then just roll. I mean, like, I guess we'll try to play Royals or some effect therein. Because we can pick both of these up next turn, and we're not far off from like an okay Royals board. We really needed to attack this Stag. Unfortunately, we didn't, so he gets an extra 3/3, so we're probably going to lose this combat. This getting to shoot is nice. He is going to get to farm with his Adventurer here. It's unfortunate. He's already super high level here. This, I think, is a visual bug. He should be on 4. So he's caught up with us, essentially. I do think it is correct to pick the Court Wizard here, and I think it's probably right to pick up this Prince Arthur as well. And then we can maybe trigger this in a turn or two. I'm just wondering if I'm supposed to feed the Kraken on one of these guys and maybe take the Adventurer as well. I don't know if we really need the Adventurer, and feed the Kraken just eating a unit to roll doesn't seem awesome. Like, normally I would use it on something like Cinderella, but we kind of are in a spot where we don't want to do that. Hopefully that we're big enough with the Brave Princess to actually hit the Slay. Because getting Slay over the next 2 turns is going to be really strong for this Princess, but if we miss it, it's going to be kind of sad. I think we don't use the Feed the Kraken, even though on the Donkey it's not abysmal here. I'd rather try to get the treasures off of both of these, and I think our board is reasonably strong, assuming that these units get attacked and killed. The Black Cap should allow us to have these kind of be in play a little bit longer, at least up front. This Mad Mim I would like to replace as soon as we can get something. If this gets to Slay, I'd like to replace it, or I probably would move this back line and shift these around if I found a Fairy Godmother. Something like that. So we missed the first attack again, and we attacked into an incredibly early Apple Tree. So that's excellent. Now this is going to get attacked and killed. So we do get 2 shots off, so we can kill the Apple Tree, which is nice. But then it sets the attack of both of our units, or the health, to 1. So we're going to lose pretty handily here. Shoot over here. Yikes. Our combat RNG has been actually abysmal. I think it's been really, really terrible. I'm not even sure what to do here to not just, like, get fucking ranched. Everybody's got tier 5 units. I don't know what we're doing wrong. I mean, I guess I take this. Like, is this even good for us? I'm not even sure that it is. Is a tier 5 better than a tier 4 here? Probably not. I think we're going to get the tier 4 if we get the... This is not it, though. We needed the one that gives these all +4/+4. Well, shit. I don't know what we do here. Like, we really need to pick up something in here. I guess Other Hand is probably the best. I think we have to shave this, move these around. I think we can sell this to pick up this triple. I don't think we can take those. Yeah, I don't even know what to do. I'm just, like, deleting gold here. We're just going to lose this, too. Yeah, he's huge. We're just dead. Man, that is just unfucking fortunate. I don't know how this game fell off the rails. Like, I'll have to go look at the VOD, but I don't know if we won a single combat. This is the worst Waddle game I think I've ever played. We might be fine because we have the double range unit in the back, but geez Louise, that was really bad. This unit is fucking trash. I hate her so much. So this needs to be replaced. This needs to be replaced. This needs to be replaced. And this. That is a lot of our units that need to be replaced. I think I have to take a tempo spell. I can pick up the Arthur, I guess, and roll. Ideally, I would have found another one here. This not being good is really awkward, but it's like our best unit. It's kind of not ideal. I mean, the Polywoggle might be able to save us here. Like, this donkey's probably just not good, right? Okay, so I have a plan. So we'll get this Polywoggle here. These are all shit. Can we afford Ring of Regeneration? I don't think so, right? That seems terrible. Maybe I just skip this. We definitely don't have 3 turns, and I think we need the sword more than we need the extra. Probably could have taken that Cupid. I'm not sure where I can afford to put this. Maybe we just put it in the front. Makes this a lot weaker, but like if this slays, we have a chance. If it doesn't, like, then we're screwed. It does have a chance. It doesn't have a chance. Well, fuck me. Alright, well, I guess we get 8th. I'm not even sure why I play this game on stream, because all I do is lose MMR. I don't know. I don't know what we did wrong there. Are we... No, there's no way. We're just dead here. Fuck. Holy shit. That's unreal. That... God damn it. I don't need that MMR. 110 Waddle. Perfect. Well, we'll lock it. I mean, I do say that you should come watch me low roll, I suppose, and I certainly do that. Maybe it's less that I low roll and that everybody around me high rolls. I don't even know. Maybe it has to do with, like, during the day. Like, the stream is just really ugly during the day. Who knows? I don't know. You know what? Here's what I do know. We're going to do... Yeah. That's the feeling right there. Whatever. We'll go again. It doesn't matter. It'll only take another 3 games at first to claw back from where that was at. That's fine. We're going to grab Loki here, though. Yeah, I made the Sad Owl. I'm gonna try and make most of these emotes, I think, or at least some of the better ones. I'm probably gonna make this be like GG. Not really sure what I'm gonna call the other ones yet, but it is possible that I was supposed to buy the unicorn to try and win combat here. Nephilim 4, appreciate the follow. We'll take the Cinderella, and then in 4 turns we'll get a treasure. We can give this 4 glory up. I don't know if the unicorn is going to be enough to beat Avella anyway. Yes, so if you buy the $5 pack, you actually unlock 4 of these emotes. So it's a pretty good value for $5, because you also get enough gems for 3 of the heroes. So if certainly don't do it if you're not in a spot where that makes sense. But if you got $5 for a game, the Sad Owl is pretty great. I don't know what I want to buy here. I guess maybe we just gamble on the Poly. The Sure Shot's probably fine, but whatever. We're just going to gamble on the Polywoggle. Horde Dragon's usually not super strong. It's possible that I needed to try and leverage the For Glory more, but whatever. We wouldn't have actually been able to win combat here anyway, because he got the magic research and we did not. I mean, we got a Hippocampus. I think that Galahad is very strong for early champions you can unlock. I think Loki can be a lot of fun, but he can be frustrating sometimes. I mean, we've had a couple games where Loki's just killed us. Maybe we leverage the Hippocampus. I mean, there's a pair of Sure Shots, the pair being pretty nice, but Sure Shot, unless you go full into Royals, is not really that good. It's fine, I think, but I don't know how good it is. The game really just wants to give us Sure Shots, though. I'm kind of over all this, too. We're just going to pick animals on the next tier, I think, and maybe we're going to lean into this Hippocampus for now. Let's see, other champions. So let's look. So if I bring up my tier list, I find Gwen to be really good. However, she is a bit difficult to play if you're not familiar with a lot of the stuff. I really would like him to stop Forbidden Fruiting me. It's getting a bit tedious. I think I'll take the Peep and roll. We do want this other Hippocampus. I think I'm just going to get rid of the mouse for it. Mouse or the unicorn? Probably the mouse. So we'll do this. Even though these are a little bit weak right now. I don't know if I want to lock the pig. Okay, so going back to it. I think he Curse King, except he's doing 2 damage every time. So far our hero power has done... So round 1 it was nothing, round 2 it was nothing. Round 3 it was Forbidden Fruit, round 4 it was Forbidden Fruit, right? So all he's done is given us 2 gold, and we've taken 4 damage from it. Not exactly a high roll. I would call that probably a bit of a low roll, and now we're going to get farmed by this stupid donkey too. Maybe we can attack here and actually kill something. Nah, that would be ridiculous. Why, Nightbot, why are you doing anything? Just stop. No. No. Don't do that. Don't do anything. We are not big enough to... Go ahead and post it again, Shui. Nightbot is not allowed to do that shit anymore. I think we'll take Spinning Wheel here. We did get a Turkish Delight, which is pretty good. So we'll grab the Power Orb, I think. It certainly makes this a lot better. I suppose that the Black Cat isn't abysmal, given that we're trying to get some attack here. Maybe we set it up something like this. Do we want to grab another Peep for the Hippocampus, or do we just try and find a Vulture? Going into 4, I don't think I care about a second Peep. Peep is really awkward in that it's a great unit if you have room, but if you don't have room for it, it's really terrible. You know what, I decided I am going to lock it because we have so many spaces open. We can easily put it in the back and be able to get more of them, so we can scale up the Hippocampus a bit more. Kind of a 1-minion Andy here. Maybe we just won't kill any of his stuff, and then these will attack in with no stats. Probably not so lucky on that, but it's an interesting thought, at least. Oh yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, Roundtable Mages is a legitimate strategy, right? That actually can be quite good. I think we're going to give up on these. I don't really want any of those. We're going to roll twice, I think. We don't really need the Grim Soul without Poly or another Slay to trigger it, and I'm not really interested in Dwarves with this board. I mean, I guess I'll take a second Black Cat, and then we'll move this around a bit. Something like this, probably. And then we'll roll. So I'm really looking for, like, a Vulture now. We'll take this and probably grab this. We'll probably lock it anyway, and then he's just going to free roll anyway. But we'll take this to try and snag that. I think this order seems fine. I probably would pick up a Sporko if we find one as well. In fact, King, you are probably not playing it wrong. I've found that both Krampus and Mrs. Claus, their hero power is really more of a, like, the first 3 or 4 or 5 turns. You know, you just get a little bit of extra stats sometimes, kind of nice. And if you make it to the point where you have a full evil board, then that's fine, because it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, you just take what the game offers, but it does give you a little bit of free stats to sort of help you get to that point. You know, if you think about some of the champions that don't do anything, like, think about Horde Dragon as an example. So Horde Dragon does fuck all until you have any treasures, right? Whereas Mrs. Claus is at least giving you something. It does a reasonable impression of a power orb if you end up in full good, but if you don't, that's fine, because your board probably has a lot of synergy, and it just doesn't matter. I think I don't mind Fountain of Youth. Lock Chest is pretty useless here. I think I'm just going to take Secret Stash so that we can get something going later. I am going to rearrange these a little bit, though, because we do have Cat's Call this round. We'll take the Chicken. Chicken's always good with the Hippocampus. We didn't really have anything else pan out here. I think we'll put the board something like this. It may be correct to just put the Peeps in the back, given that we have the Cat's Call. I think this is actually correct, because I want to try and maximize these, and this guy is just not going to die before these do, unless he gets Apple Treed. But yeah, like, honestly, it doesn't really matter what your hero power is if your board is great. You know, you can have an entirely blank hero power if your board is already fine. Most of these hero powers outside of something like a Vela are really just trying to make your board as strong as possible. So, I mean, you think about something like Sharon. All he's doing is giving one of your guys a little bit more stats while you're building up your board, so that you have enough tempo to sort of build whatever. It is pretty wild that we did have a chance of actually triggering that poly off of the Grimsoul here. Alright, so we get a bunch of cats. Of course, he got the EXP instead of the extra health here. This is going to farm our units a bit. But we're probably going to be able to win combat just fine with this 1160. We are probably going to end up in something animals later. I mean, we're really feeding this guy here, which kind of sucks. I don't think we're going to be able to kill him here. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to kill him here. Hopefully the treasure that he gets is not enough to allow him to get to 6 and really go hog wild out of it. But we'll have to wait and see. Loki coming in clutch with this bread roll. Very nice. Exactly what I was looking for. We're going to roll. I don't love the copycats, so we're going to roll away from that. I don't mind the upgraded peep. We don't really need the double peep anymore because we don't really have a lot of room for it. I do like Sting here. Merlin Hat, obviously entirely useless. I think we can maybe take it over either the spinning wheel or the secret stash here. I'm kind of leaning towards the spinning wheel, but I think it's going to be secret stash. Given that we're relatively strong and we can actually hopefully leverage this peep to fill in this spot. I want something. I don't really want toughness. I'd rather have attack if we can. This is okay, but I think we can roll over it because we have the chicken in our hand. I will take the wolf in sheep's clothing. I think it's strong enough that it's worthwhile, and then we'll put the poly in the back. We don't have an awesome board here, but again, this hippocampus is going to be okay for us. We're actually getting close to the point where we can put the hippocampus in the first slot, even. I would have taken it if this was upgraded. It is entirely possible that we're going to be able to hit here anyway. Nope, not so lucky. It does live, however. Interesting. Yeah, it's possible that I should have taken the Grim Soul. I wasn't even really thinking of the Polywoggle that much because it's not upgraded, so it's just like a random 6. If I see one now, I'll probably pick it up. I do think we want the Sporko, though. It makes our tokens a lot better. Something like this. I mean, it could even be like this, but... we really want to get rid of this Cinderella and this. These are both almost entirely useless here. Baby Bear, I think, would be a good pickup to put in the front here. Adventurer is interesting. We could leverage this to try and skip to 6. We are against a Vela. It's pretty likely that we actually can trigger it too. It doesn't need to trigger that many times for it to be worth it for us here. Given that we're so close to 6 already. Even just triggering once, I think will be fine. And then we can rearrange this so that the tokens get extra attack. 12 is probably enough to slay against Ivella specifically. And then this unit should also get the Sting and the Sporko buff again. So this is a pretty strong spot, I think. Now, I could be wrong, certainly. Awkwardly, he hits the worst unit for us, I think. This would have been certainly ideal. But we did get an extra EXP, so that's nice. Which will get us to 6 in an extra turn here. Unfortunately, we're about to get fucked up by that Medusa if we don't kill it here. Hit the Medusa. Okay, we're fine. Double Golden Pumpkin. I mean, yeah, your board is pretty strong, and if they don't full scam you, you're gonna be fine there a lot of times. So the Adventure was worth the 3 gold here, seeing that it did get 1 slay. I may try to slay with this Polywoggle this round, given that we're against somebody who's already lost. Yeah, if are you around? Oh, you're on 3K, right? Have you grounded much at all? It's like this. It's a little bit better. We really need to get rid of this unicorn here. Cupid might be worthwhile. I'm really looking for something like a Baby Bear. I mean, honestly, the Crafty might even just... It's, like, way better than this. Yeah, I mean, you're... At anything basically above 3,000, you're still getting queued into basically everybody else, so... Just really want to give us this Nutcracker, huh? Yeah, so be it. That's true. That's true enough. So we did get the Slay, so we'll get a tier 6 unit out of that. That's nice. We should be able to win this just fine. Our Hippocampus is plenty large. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. The range units having toughness is very strong, right? Roundtable mages has always been pretty good. Basically, any time that you can get health on like high attack range attackers is gonna be pretty nice. Big pigs. Wow, that's pretty good. Do like big pigs. Do we want the Green Knight? Is that the direction that we're gonna go? It would make our tokens a little bit stronger. I think I'd rather maybe look for Bearstein. I want this to have more attack. Maybe we need to move it into the front row at this point. Have it in the front. Like a 26.95 is pretty good. But then we lose the ability to like stack Sting. Let's go ahead and roll for now, and then we'll figure out our placement. I'll think about that for a minute. I don't mind Echo Wood with the animals. Though I'm not sure if we're in a spot where Echo Wood is going to fit. I think I'm going to take it anyway, because it definitely makes us stronger this turn. But until we find like a Bearstein, they're really not going to be that large. So none of that's particularly good. I do think that we're going to rearrange this a little bit. Maybe something like that. It's, yeah, like, I mean, it's a 310, or it's a 1030. Like, the 1030 is pretty big. It's just like a lot of stats on a single unit, which I kind of like. So we're not going to get a remarkable amount of stats off this Echo Wood, but it is definitely a bigger unit than most of what I was going to have, I think. We're still not in a great spot against this Medusa here, but this Cat's Call is really going to carry us, I think. We need to, again, deal with the Medusa, otherwise it's going to put us in kind of a bad way. Alright, excellent. Yeah, I found a 1030 to be a pretty big unit. But with animals, it's really not that great. We could still be in Pumpkin King. We have a huge Hippocampus, but he like has no attack. And we really can't croc him unless he switches our hero power. Which kind of feels bad. Good Boy would be something that I would be interested in, or Bearsteins, I think. I'm kind of not interested in this, even though we do have the one pig. I think Bearstein is just a much stronger value add to that. I mean, I will take the Echo Wood pair, but I think it's pretty small here. But we could always end up in trees. Like, if we hit Round Table, like, the Hippocampus obviously becomes awesome, so... I will take another big pig here, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I arrange this? Maybe something like this, I guess, to try and maximize our buffs. I don't know if the Hippocampus being in the front is ideal, but I think it is what we're going to do here. We really can't afford to have him in the back at this point, because we don't want... The board is already going to be pretty crowded with the double big pigs and the peep. So we need to make sure that we have enough room for them to kind of grow out here. Because like now if the pig dies, it's going to spawn here. Our Echo Wood, again, it's still a little small, but if we get the Round Table or something along those lines, that'll be pretty nice. Hippocampus carrying the whole universe here, which is nice. I know it's been a bit heavy this game for him, but, you know, what are you going to do, right? Another tree is fine. It would give the Echo Woods a chance to actually get more health, but, like if we put it somewhere here, but we really don't have anywhere to put it. So I think we're just going to roll. Doom Breath is okay. Unfortunately, the Horde Dragon is on 6, so we might get stomped here. It would be nice to get a bit stronger from either hitting this triple or a Bearstein. Baby Bear is okay. It is not a massive upgrade, so I don't think it is worth grabbing here. I would consider it just to be like a minor upgrade. Vulture might have been a good upgrade with the Echo Wood, honestly. I mean, this is nice. And very well may be worth picking up here. But it's kind of hard to justify until we actually hit Round Table before we would want to move into this. God. It's so close to being correct. Alright. I think it's probably correct. He didn't actually end up hitting anything terribly crazy, though he did fuck us up with this Lightning Dragon in the front. Yeah, Astrodome is so good, and trees are just almost always a winning line, if you can get them. I don't know if our Hippocampus has enough attack to be able to beat this combat here. We're kind of at the spot where we're a little bit too small. especially with the ranged unit here, because these are going to be 11-11s, so we don't quite hit 1-for-1 them. Yeah. We need Round Table for this to be a playable unit at this point, unfortunately. I mean, this was actually decent, because I think we pick up both of these. Like, we could get in a spot where this is our only small unit, and then this gives it plus 15 attack. A 35, 150 would be pretty okay. I'm fine to be off of animals, and the reason that I am okay with not being in animals at this point is we didn't see anything that was compelling us to be in them, and like Bearstein, you know, so we really can't be there, right? So we can do this. We can put this here. We can potentially run something like this, or even like this, and then this will get the buff for sure if we have it in. Are the Echo Woods better than just having like the Nutcracker in, I wonder? Probably not, actually. We'll leave it like this for now. I don't feel very strong. That was really good for us, though. And this being a 2604 is certainly much stronger than what it was previously. So he got a pumpkin. Oh my god, he got double Southern Siren. That's really bad. Yeah, we need this to kill here. So our combat RNG there was pretty terrible, which is unfortunate. I don't remember what Merlin was playing. If we don't hit our triple here, we're probably going to be in a bad spot. So we could hit here or here. Another Ashwood is good. So we have like one roll for 3 different tier 6 triples. So this I like. These have no health, basically, so I think this is probably better. Like, the Echo Woods are effectively the equivalent of just like an unlimited attack, but no health unit. Is that worth doing? I mean, we could maybe move this to the back row and then run both pigs, and then we can get a little extra health from this. But this is going to be like a 60 or like a 40-22. I'm not actually sure. It's possible. You know, I am sure about something. This Robin Hood should have been in the back row. Nutcracker should have been in the front spot here. Because we have such a large health unit that we want the ranged unit to be able to shoot more than once. So that was a mistake on positioning. If this doesn't hit here... Oh my god. Do we just, like, get ourselves killed because of how we positioned our guys? Okay, we ended up second. We definitely had the opportunity to get first in that one. My positioning on that was bad. Really, actually terrible. There's no reason that that both the range unit should have been in the front, which was terrible, and there's no reason that the 158 unit should have been at that much risk in that spot. Especially given that if we had thought about it better, we would have known that he was there. But all things considered, it is an okay result. So we'll go ahead and write it down. So back to 84. We're still down 100-ish, which means we got to jump back in. Yeah, that was really yikes on the positioning there. As much as I like range unit in the front slot, I think that could have just been the pig. That could have been a big pig, and honestly, it could have been big pig in the first and second slots potentially, and then try to get some health on the one Echo Wood in the back from those. We don't really need the value of trying to like get the extra pigs as much, because we already have a decent board otherwise. But yeah, getting double Medusa there is not ideal, and that is because our range unit in the back that should have been in 5th slot just was in the wrong position. So it's been a while since I've gotten a Merlin game, so I think we're gonna grab that here. I think Trophy Hunter is okay, but unreliable. I think Curse King is also kind of unreliable, because if you're low rolling, you have even less opportunities to sort of salvage the game because he does you extra damage. He just isn't in a good spot where you can be taking 16 or 18 from like a single high roller. Somebody grabs a harp, Waddle hits you, boom, and all of a sudden you have no chance because you've already dealt yourself 10. Okay, so on Merlin, looking at what we got here, looks like we snagged Vero. Cool. I like the Sure Shot as something that we can put stats on. I also don't mind the Polywoggle. It is cute, but I think I like grabbing Polywoggle first. There is a non-zero chance that we attack first and that we actually get to slay. Typically, Potion Master doesn't mind grabbing like the Happy Little Tree first. It also doesn't mind grabbing like the Sure Shot or something like this. So we actually had a coin flip there to slay. Obviously it didn't work out. I am going to grab this first, I believe, and then use the spell. And the reason that I think I'd want to grab it first is I don't mind if the buff goes on the Sure Shot or the Poly. So we got one buff on both. So we're going to position them like this, I think. Maybe this. Mad Catter is going to have some decent stats. I guess we position like this, because if he attacks into the Poly and we don't get the Slay, that's fine. Because that means that we get 2 Sure Shot fires. I'm going to lock for the 5/5. So he hits there and there. Great. So, unfortunately, we had the least optimal attacks, but that's okay. We'll pick up this and we'll bread roll. Interestingly, I actually want to be weaker here so that we can keep this into a triple, which kind of feels bad because we're losing a lot of stats. But I would rather... I think I would rather get... I would rather get a triple Poly into a 4-drop than getting one of these into a 3 and then not getting the triple, I think. I think that's correct exactly in this spot. And I also don't mind the Sugar and Spice as well. I think we're going to position like this. A lot of times, Skip will have something like a stag. Yeah. Yeah, Golden Poly is so much better. And here we don't even take damage. Like, he only had the opportunity to really get 2 units, and a lot of times those units are going to be 4/4s. Because that's kind of like what the average 3-drop is. So in this case, Fairy Tale is an extremely valuable early treasure, giving all of our units permanently +1/+1. So I think we're going to pick up that, because we're actually pretty strong here. I think we can cast this, and then just grab the chicken. And then next turn we can switch the chicken into something else. We could snag this Humpty Dumpty to be a lot stronger than we are now. I just don't know if that's necessary. I would really like to get the Sleigh on this Polywoggle here as well. So we're going to kind of arrange it like this. I don't mind moving this Sure Shot to the back row now, once our poly is flipped. Okay, that's fine. This gets to trade with 2 of his units, and we guarantee this triggers. Wow, that's incredible. That is a very good treasure. Sorry, a very good tier 4 unit, especially early, and with extra stats on it. Okay, so that's pretty good. I kind of want to roll for maybe EXP even. This is a bit awkward. No, it's not. So we're going to take this. We're going to take this. We'll sell the chicken, and we'll eat this. Because I don't really care that much about Cinderella. And then we have a pretty good board here. I think we put the chicken in, or the Sure Shot in the back now, so that more things are hitting the Nutcracker. Now it is a Wonder Waddle on 3, so there are a lot of... he could have a nasty board. I mean, if he... as far as the health in the lobby, it is pretty unlikely that he has a Harp, or that he had it before, because nobody has taken, you know, a massive amount of damage outside of the Sadrak. You'll typically know if there's a Waddle in the game that has a Harp, because everybody will be at 20 life, except for Wonder Waddle. So my guess is that he's pretty low roll in this one. Yeah, so he's trying to push EXP, which I think is reasonable. This should trigger this round pretty easily, I would think. It doesn't, because he doesn't have enough units with attack. That's alright, we'll get it next turn. Something like Fork would be a really good early pickup, I think. I hate Brave Princess. I think it's a trash unit, so we're just not going to take it here, especially because we're already on 4. We could pick up Dragon. I don't know if I love dragons. I don't really know if I love any of this. Friendly Spirit is okay. Friendly Spirit's probably the best unit out of here. Maybe Friendly Spirit's just fine. I think we'll do Friendly Spirit for Glory, and then we'll just roll to lock a nice board. We could snag another Polywoggle. I think I'd rather try and either pair these up, snag an Arthur, or get like a Godmother. So I don't know if we really care that much about any of this. I don't mind Burning Palm on something like the Friendly Spirit, but I don't know if that's worth a lock. We are against Ivella, which is going to be kind of tricky. Hopefully the 9-5 Sure Shot in the back is going to be enough to deal with his backline a bit. He's still on 3, so it is likely... Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Polywoggle is a huge problem. And you don't even really notice Polywoggle until you know, like, you get to 5, and you end up they have a Polywoggle that got them an upgraded tier 6 unit, and you have no chance of being anywhere close to them. Like, especially if they got an extra EXP to get there. Like, all of a sudden they go from having, like, a medium board to, yeah, that Ivella was really, really terrible there. Yeah, I like the Forking Rod, especially on Merlin. This Feed the Kraken is good for 4 gold this turn, if we want it. I mean, this Puff Puff is pretty bad, right? Do we want this for 4 gold? Maybe not. I might try to pick up Hat Ball, since we already have Fork. It's not that impossible to assemble here. Maybe we'd give up on the Kraken, and we just roll. We could eat it with the End. That I don't hate. And then we could pick this up for next turn to get a bigger unit. Maybe we grab this first. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. It's a bit more expensive. Like if we... I think it's fine though. I think it's fine. This probably should be up a little bit higher. I don't really want it to go on the princes though. Yeah, because so they can pick up, like, especially if they grab Harp early, they can just scoop up 3-4 Polywoggles that are all upgraded, and then it is really not hard to just be, you know, bullshit strong. Yeah, there's so many ways to high roll. I mean, obviously we just watched an incredible low roll Waddle game. That might have been my choices in the game too, but felt pretty low rolly. I actually like buying the Poly first and then doing this. And then we'll pick this up. Something like this. I don't mind Soltec. Soltec is a very strong unit. Like, if you end up looking at all of the units that get picked in all the games, Soltec is actually one of the ones that works pretty well. Yeah, no, this Wormroot is very underrated for 2. It's a lot of stats. I mean, like, we literally bought a 6-2 unit, and this just gives +3/+3 even without Fork. Like, it's pretty decent. I think we'll re-roll over the Soltec. This I like, though. Unfortunately, we're probably going to want to flip this Poly this turn anyway. But I don't mind just getting another one. I think that's fine. And we can also even Magic Research if we want to. Maybe just pick up the Nian. Like, grab this, Nian, and the spell. I think it depends on what we get off of the Lonely Prince, probably. Because if we get Runestones, then I definitely like the Nian. I wonder if it's right to just, like, do something like this to protect it from Mummy. Oh, he's not even Mummy territory yet. Yeah, the Friendly Spirit being a 12/16 is, like, pretty good. I mean, is this good? It's hard to tell. It seems pretty good. It's got some of that, you know, that flavor that people generally tend to like in these games. And he's cute, and that's important. It does have a gold border, and that's what makes it good. See, you're right. That's absolutely true. Alright, so let's combine these. None of these are particularly exciting, right? This is garbage. This is basically useless here now. The sling is... gives +2/+2. That, give me gold. I think... I don't mind the Magic Research. I don't know if I need this Nian anymore, or this Poly. I am going to take the Poly, and we'll try to flip it this turn, but I don't know where I'm going to put it. Maybe here for now. I think I can just roll for a better spell for the good boy. I think that's what I'd like to do. I don't mind picking up this pair, though. It's pretty likely that we'll end up keeping this around because it has buffs already. Maybe we're just going to get screwed and we should have taken that one first. Oh no, this is awesome, right? I like Lady of the Lake a lot. Job Holic, appreciate the follow. What do I even sell for this? I guess it is Lady of the Lake. Kind of feels bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is fine. Like, doing the Wormroot here is absolutely necessary because we want to free up the spell slot for next turn. And we're getting the golden one of this, like it's necessary. Oh man, Dwarf Pivot? I'm in. I'm in for Dwarves. I think I've gained more MMR today on Dwarves than I have on any other combo. I think I lose the most on Royals, probably, because I, like, just don't find good boys. Okay, so I'm gonna take... I might just sell this Lordy first. Like, I might sell these two first before I even take the coin. That's probably too cute. It was too cute, I decided. Harp is good. Castle is 3. Reduplicator is useless. So do we take Harp to try and grab other polys for this Grimsoul? Maybe. I don't mind it for a turn. We could double Shrivel to be good against Vero here. I'd rather kind of get buffs on Good Boy. So I think I'll hold off on that. Alright, so we did find a poly. Get some upgraded Lordies, yeah. I think we're going to Polywoggle here. I think that's correct. I kind of want to lead on this, though. I don't really want to do Ride of the Valkyries because I would rather do permanent buff. I don't mind Copycat, actually, with these two, but... I probably should have sold Lordy to pick that up, to be honest. Oh shit, we're at 43 health? How did that happen? Honestly, I wasn't even noticing what our health was at. I'm not gonna lie. I suppose it makes sense. I mean, we picked up the Fairy Tail super early, and we just, like, haven't had any spots where we would have been losing. We are gonna lose here, actually. Kind of got scammed a little bit with the apple tree. We'll take the Polywoggle. I'm going to sell this Lordy because I don't want him to get any of these buffs. Take the Drink Me Potion. Unfortunately, we can't double Knighthood our guy because we don't have enough gold, right? What if we, like, got rid of some of our shitters and then just had a golden Good Boy? What are our thoughts on that? Golden Good Boy with no treasures does feel kind of bad. And not having ranged units also feels kind of bad. Like, this Storm King is pretty shitty. But he's just so many stats. Maybe this is just worse than this? Shit, I don't even know. Like, getting rid of 2 good units makes the Good Boy so much worse, but we have 35 life. Alright. Alright, we're gonna do it. We're locking for the Potion of Heroism, I think, given that we can cast it twice. Oh shit, he has Holy Grail next turn? Oh fuck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, we might just keep the Storm King and, like, just cast a bunch of spells and have him be big. This is spooky. Okay, good job, Storm King. You're really out there doing it. This should be fine. Yeah, we should have plenty of stats unless this, like, apples us. Alright, we'll be alright. Yeah, so I gotta kill him right here. So he's at 23. 3, 6, 9, 15. Close. Pretty close. He has 1 life to give, but... Oh, spooky. We could be spells yet, but we don't really have the Hat Ball to be able to combo him, so... I think we'll just do that. I probably should have sold the Grimsoul first, but I think there's a chance that we still get another poly. I find Echo Wood to be pretty good. So here's an interesting question. Are we strong enough to kill this Avella? Because if we are strong enough to kill this Avella straight up, then we should take this. Because getting 2 6-drops is almost always going to be better than any random spell. So 2 of them went here, which is kind of awkward. I would like to pick up any good unit that is actually playable. Humpty, you fucking bitch. Because we want this to get a little bit of extra buff, so we can rearrange them like so. I guess we can put Storm King in the... Nah, we can kind of leave him in the front. We could play Donkey. Yeah, that doesn't seem so bad. Play a Donkey in the back, even. Like this. I think this is acceptable. I mean, so Donkey's going to get a ton of attack, not a lot of health, but like if this Friendly Spirit hits the Donkey, we're going to be able to just destroy him here. Oh, we're going to be totally fine. Totally fine. So, okay, so we're going to get the double 4 glory, so we'll get 2 6-drops for 1 gold, which, I don't know, that's a pretty good rate. I mean, it's almost as good as our upgraded Polywoggle rate. Not quite as good, but pretty close. And we could still be trees yet. We could still be a lot of things yet. Did the Polywoggle die here? Or the Wonder Waddle. We'll see. This is kind of the turn. Nope, he lived. Spooky. So these are okay. This is pretty good. If we could make this a good unit, that would be nice. Yeah, that Donkey was... He was really out there doing it. Yeah, if we could make Grumble good, that would make this board quite a bit stronger. I don't mind Storm King, but he's just like doesn't really fit the strategy. So this is actually an interesting option here. Double Masquerade Ball with this is pretty good. I might take the Echo Wood and then do it. Because like we want the Echo Wood anyway, right? But then we could do this. Because the Green Knight is fine. But I would rather try and triple this and then maybe get one of the other ones. Okay, so we do get the triple Echo Wood. Can we make enough room for it? So what would our end board look like? Something like this. So we would be down 1 unit. What unit would we want to be down then? Probably Storm King, though that does make us a lot weaker, right? Kind of awkward. Like, this guy is so large. Maybe wait till next turn? Yeah. Yeah, that could be. I don't know if I can play down a unit. Like the 1423, the problem is that the more good units that we sell, the less we have. This is what he was able to do with a... This is it? What? Should have ran the Donkey. Would have fucking farmed him. I assume that Nasty Meat probably does not have a lot of experience with how you approach the Holy Grail. Because this is not what I would have expected there. Honestly, I remember his board was just like double pumpkin and a bunch of garbage. If I was him, I would have just doom rolled for any tree 6-drop to get into a better comp. And I think he would have done pretty well for himself. But, I mean, it's hard to get experience doing that, especially under a time crunch. So now we can take this, which is good here. These are not particularly exciting. It's probably just Ivory Owl over the Fairy Tale. Double your support is okay. I think Owl's fine here. Definitely over Fairy Tale. I mean, it could be over the Gilded Harp. Neither of these are that exciting. Do we know what Loki is playing to double Kidnap? I don't know what he's playing, but there is a non-zero chance that an upgraded Kidnap is going to be good. So I'm looking to potentially either get rid of these or make at least this one good. I know this unit is large, but... Yeah, true. Double Kidnap, I mean, almost always is going to be pretty nice. Hugify is good on Good Boy. Probably not worth a lock. Do we want to switch our hero power? I don't think we do. I mean, it's not that bad. It's probably not worth a lock. That's true. Oh my god, hit Good Boy. Hit this Good Boy, right here. No. We're gonna get double fucking Jormungand? What is that? Useless. It's possible, yeah. I mean, the Merlin hero power is pretty weak at this point. I wasn't feeling a lock on it, but it may be correct, especially since we want, like, Zelhua or Gwen or something would have been a decent upgrade there. It probably was worth a lock, in retrospect. I mean, we got lots of Jormungands now, so if we're in the market to switch into Slay. Turns out Vero is still alive. I mean, we could True Love's Kiss one of these Jormungands. Or this Storm King. Probably one of the Jormungands. I mean, I don't know what I expected, I suppose. Cupid is probably better than Grumblegore. Could just go into fucking spells. I would like another... Like, I want another good unit. In order for me to be able to do this, I need another good unit, right? Well, this is out. I'm going to grab the Cupid. I don't know if this is where I'm going to end up, but I'm going to grab that for now. Hercules is probably necessary here. So I can shave something for this, and then have this trigger this turn and get a tier 6. I think Yorm this and this. I don't know if two of these in play are correct. But I feel like it can't be that wrong. It should proc right away anyway. So Vero has an Ashwood Elm. This Cupid bullshit is not ideal for us. Yeah, that was really not the best. Okay. We didn't proc it right away. We did win combat, so we killed him. That could have went a lot worse for us. With the Cupid, if he hit one of our other units, it would have smashed into us. You may have been right. Having the Grumble in, like, basically guarantees it, but I already didn't do that, so I guess we just roll here. If I can make this good, that would be great, I think. Last breaths count as slays as well. So anything that is a last breath, so like Friendly Spirit here, would say slay, give double my attack and health to one of your characters this brawl, and then also last breath. So it just adds it, so it's really nice. We could Masquerade Ball. I don't know what tier 6 units that we're looking for, but we're going to find 4 of them. This is our opportunity to transition into something else. Potentially trees, which I think is probably correct a lot of the time. Because if this hits round table, we're just going to be trees, basically, I think. So I believe that that's fine. I'm kind of over this Grumblegore to pick up this chicken and then just sit. Yeah. And then, depending upon the outcome of this Hercules, assuming that it doesn't just get killed by a range unit or something. That was really unfortunate. At least we don't lose 2 of our Storm Kings. Username String, appreciate the follow. Okay, we do get to attack with this, thank God. Thought we were going to lose the Hercules here because I put him in that spot. Now we'll see what tier 6 we get, and then from there we can decide where we go. I mean, we hit round table, so we're just going to play round tables. We need more Ashwoods, or we need to make this Ashwood good. Or both. Roll. We can pick up a Green Knight here then. We don't need the Sugar and Spice that badly here. Apple Tree is okay. I think I'd rather have a good unit. Disintegrate might be enough to just win the battle here. So I think we'll take it, but yeah, they are already pretty round. I am going to put this in and this in, though. Something like this. Because then the good boy is going to get additional stats. We lose this a bit, but I think it's fine. I could be totally wrong about taking out the Friendly Spirit. He's certainly a bigger unit. Echo Front would be really bad with the Apple Trees here. We don't actually want him to get ranched by the Apple Trees if we can avoid it. Yeah, you're right. That's probably true. I mean, they've carried us this far. I kind of wanted to be in the last comp, you know? They're doing their best. We didn't actually kill him here there. But yeah, you very well could be right. It might just be more stats because of that. We'll do this. Roll another Echo Wood. Can we afford another Echo Wood? I mean, probably, right? Just only Echo Woods. Only good boys. So is another good boy even good here? Make him like a 10 something. And then we'd lose this. I guess we don't really need it to be here because it doesn't do anything. It has like 6 health. So we could do it like this. Just like get rid of the Storm Kings entirely. And then just not have the second Echo Wood. I guess we'll lock this. I think we should be more than plenty big to kill him here. Even with the double Apple Tree. Alright, so we'll call this the first. I'm going to guess plus 50. Perhaps? Plus 48. That was a good Merlin game. BM, I don't know. I gave my opponent a reasonable shot there, but I had round table with my stuff and he didn't. I mean, round table trees versus trees without round table, it's not really much of a competition, right? It ends up being pretty brutal for one of the sides, for sure. He did brutalize us earlier in the game, so that was a good game, though. No, so the emote, the one where the dude's just like this or whatever, I believe is universally accepted as just good game. Some of the other ones are a little bit more trolly than that, perhaps, and if people don't universally accept it as good game, I'm gonna try and make it GG. I'm gonna like the end all one. Yeah, I mean, we'll jump back in. I think I'm probably going to try and make that an emote on my channel too. I'm going to make that one soon. Maybe tomorrow. I'll do that. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, I'll know. I will know then. Yeah, I like specifically that one, or at least one of them turning it into a good game, because there's no way to communicate. There's no way to be like, hey, you know, we did a good game and everybody had fun or whatever. I think we'll take Gwen here. I like Gwen. Zelebch. Something like that anyway. I appreciate the follow. So yeah, so looking at the emotes, like, I think this one is pretty decent for good game. I mean, it's relatively cheery, like, you know, there's no aggression with it. Uh, I like this one a lot. I like Sad Owl too, but that's kind of for a different reason. I think it is weird but correct to probably shrink here. It's just like essentially an extra gold, and a lot of times, even though we lose the trigger on this, I don't think it's that big of a deal. See, he thought the same thing. So we don't lose any health there. I mean, now I think valuing the hit on the quest is better than getting one random roll. Yeah, I mean, if you come from a lot of other games, really, almost any sort of communication feels like a bit of a BM. But I think here, this one specifically, we could just force it to be good game, and then that'll just be like universally accepted as that, and we'll just, you know, make something that is a positive communication. The rest of them, BM with all those though. So Knighthood is a very special type of card, especially on Gwen. A lot of it really depends on what I end up finding, on whether or not I decide to use it earlier or later. I just were only shrinks. I think that's pretty good though. I think we're not even going to bother with the friendly familiar, the wizard's familiar. I think I'm going to buy this and sell it. Buy these two and then lock for this one for the pair. I think this makes us reasonably strong here. And then I like the pair. It's kind of free. Only shrinks. Yeah, I'll take shrink all day long. I think that somewhere on like the 5 gold range, 5 or 6, depending upon what you hit. It really sort of depends on the texture of your board, though. Yeah, shrink is insane here, right? I was actually thinking I should put a bigger unit in the back in case he has a bunch of dragons. Of course, we get all this free economy, and like we still lose to the Loki. You know, what are you gonna do, right? I mean, I have a pretty good idea of exactly what I'm gonna do on this board, though. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna take this, and we're gonna cast this here. We're gonna pig it up. Pig gamers now. Melkazar, appreciate the follow. Oh, this is Sir Pig now, for sure. King of the Pigs. I actually don't even know if I hate locking True Love's Kiss for this. It's kind of interesting. Alright, I have a line that I like. Okay, so we're going to do this. Maybe this. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, this thing is great. And also, upgrading Pig, super great. I think this game is going to go pretty well. You do. That is exactly how it works with Cinderella. So her quest will complete, she'll become an upgraded unit, and then she'll become an upgraded higher tier unit. It was not ideal that this didn't hit into the pig. Are we just going to lose our pig here? Jesus Christ. This Good Witch not dying to one of our units in the back was really unfortunate. So I am going to go ahead and cast this here. Upgrade the Cinderella. Oh, hi. We got a triply. Unlimited doublies and triplies. We just playing dwarves. Yeah, plus 2 is brutal for us. Man, maybe Fairy Tale is just like awesome, and then we just start picking up doublies. Alright, are we dwarf gamers? I guess we are. Yeah. I mean, this one is not ideal. This is probably better for right now. Maybe something like this. We'll just play a bunch of 3/3s. We'll take doublies, and then we'll just try to get something that pairs up with him here. Having this many of them early, like a couple of buffs, really won't take that much effort to accumulate. Hopefully this pig is big enough to actually carry us here a little bit. Yeah, dwarves are really interesting. I feel like I win a lot more games with dwarves by just like dumpstering a lobby and then picking them up than I do a lot of other scenarios. But if you don't win early, they are not good enough to scale into the later game, essentially is what it ends up being. It's like they fall off super hard. Yeah, Trophy Hunter, not ideal. I like the end here to get to 4, because we're really going to need some of our 4s and 5s. Not sure what we get rid of here, though. One of these 2s, probably. We might have to roll to get a little bit stronger. I don't know. Maybe we can't afford this. It does give us 2 extra gold, though. Or 2 extra health, rather. Fuck it, I'm in for it. We'll take an L this turn, and then we'll piece together some dwarf nonsense next turn. We're just on all 3 3s. Yeah, that makes sense. Just if you don't ever play any units against Sharon, then he just has like a normal game and no hero power. Like that's got to be good, right? Alright, so we'll take a bit of damage against this opponent, which does kind of suck because our prize pig has been pretty disappointing this game. An upgraded stag, brutal here. Oh, you're gonna kill no units? We really need to kill this one. Oh my god, that disaster. Alright, so when I said we're gonna take a little bit of damage, I meant we're gonna take like a shit ton of damage. But now we're gonna be able to pick up this bossy, which is actually a good unit. Okay, so now our dwarves are a bit larger. It is possible that we should hit the princess right, but I don't think we can afford to spend the gold on this, since we already basically have a board full of dwarves. I don't think I'm going to buy it, I think is why I didn't do it this way. I would rather hit another bossy. I don't even think I'm going to pick up this Minotaur pair. I would rather hit another bossy here, or something that actually is good. I have no idea. Appreciate the follow. Yeah. Like, we really need this more than we need Snow White. She's back again. I mean, maybe I'm just wrong. No, maybe that was just wrong there. You know what, after thinking about it, I think you're absolutely right there, Salty. This should have been before I bought the bossy, and then it just would have been over the Frog Prince. And then we would just not have had the crafty, which really doesn't matter. So, a bit awkward, but I think that So I think that doing the correct play, even if it's in retrospect, is still better than just like not buying it and taking the L by not having it. The fact that it's going to scale up by 5/5 this turn is almost certainly better here than not having it. And then even though we lost 2 triggers off of it, it's not going to be the end of the world, and it's going to make us significantly stronger both this turn and the next 2 or 3. Especially given that we are already at 10. This game has not gone super well, but that's okay. I think this Fanny is pretty good here. I wonder if we try to hit an Angry. No Angry, no Lucky. Too greedy. Always too greedy. Siren is pretty good, though. Claus is already on 5. Yeah, the pig has been wildly disappointing. Okay, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you trigger him like 3 turns in a row and then you just have a ton of gold. Other times you downgrade your units into triplies and then you play shitty cursed pig and feel bad about it. Alright, I mean, this is pretty good, right? I think combining these is going to be better. So it makes them like a lot bigger. This will give us a 3. I lied. I think I need volume of units to make the Princess Right more playable here. I needed this to really smack into one of my guys. Map into Forge would have been much better. But this game has been played very, very well. You can tell. Yeah, that would have been great, okay? You know, that's why I'm losing MMR, not gaining MMR. I was thinking it was only going to find a 3. Obviously, that's not what it's going to do. It's going to find it would have found a 4, but, you know. Also, it made the crafties worse because I just have less treasures, too. Well, Secret Stash is pretty unplayable here. Also, we could have just slapped the pig in. Okay, so that was played badly. Yeah, no big deal. I mean, is Hermes Boots even worthwhile here? Attacking first with like a 23 is okay. It's pretty butts. I think it's got to be Spinning Wheel, and then we just have to hope that we don't die on this round, and that in the next round we can actually salvage this. If we could pick up 3 dwarves here, I think it would be okay. Angry might be good enough against Ibella specifically. Okay, we're not in a good spot. However, we are against Ibella. Ibella a lot of times has a very weak front line because they have a bunch of animals. Maybe, since we're attacking first with Angry, we're not because we took the Spinning Wheel, but maybe we can attack first and hit something. And then buff the rest of our guys, and then maybe it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Copium. Oh no. That was a disaster. When you really needed that guy to be alive. Okay, so we just need all these to kill up here. Okay, that's good. That's less good. Okay, that's fine. This needs to shoot here now. Yes, okay. Easy. This game's not even hard. So easy. And then we get an Angry. Okay. Now we just need any dwarf, right? And then maybe a Bossy. We're going to roll into a Bossy. Okay. Bossy. Shit. Okay, now we just need any dwarf. Maybe we have to take the Falling Stars to be a bit bigger. Oh my god, where's all my dwarves? Any dwarf. Holy shit, game, why? Ah. Game, why? Was there a tiny in there and I'm just stupid? Oh my god. Fucking disaster. Was there one in the second shop? Oh, that was when I was still looking for Bossy. Well, I should have taken that. That would have been absolutely correct. So this game was played expertly, you can tell. Yeah. I wonder if I have to, like, put one of these in the back row to try and maximize the buffs. I think it's probably right. Luckily, we do have the Falling Stars, but not having this upgraded really is unfortunate here. Aw, easy. Easy. He got my Lordy, though. Jerk. Alright, so this game is going okay, right? We're going to be dwarves. This thing would have been, you know, like a 26. No, this game has been played flawlessly. clearly 4K plus player here, playing, you know, clean games. So I'm gonna take this dwarf, and then I'm gonna hit the Dwarven Forge, and then it's gonna be really awkward. I think I would rather have Mimic on dwarves, but I think I have to take the Sword of Fire and Ice because we're so incredibly weak that having extra health on the doublies and the angries are going to be good. It's okay, we didn't get it anyway. This is fine. Everything is fine. Oh, Red, hey, how you doing, buddy? How's your stream? I think we'll take the Ring of Rage, and we can get rid of the Fairy Tale now. Thardox, appreciate the follow. Alright, so we'll take a Bozzy here. We could cast this Forbidden Fruit and just kill ourselves. I mean, given the way that we've played this game, it's not that far off from being the correct line. Lucas, appreciate the follow. And Red, I really do appreciate it. Glad you had a good stream. Yeah, you take care. HG, appreciate the follow. Alright, well, this is not the best board I've ever seen, especially if he has a big unit. But if this triggers at least once, we're looking okay. We'll see, hopefully, anyway. She might be able to move up some. I think we're probably big enough that it's not going to matter too much. Alright, alright. Dwarven Forge. No Forge. No Forge is unfortunate. I think we pick up Fool's Gold here over the Spinning Wheel. Because we don't really need to be casting spells. What we really need is Lordies. Can we afford to take this Echo Wood here is a question. I don't think that we can, because if this doesn't trigger, then we, like, our best case scenario is that it's getting, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, which is not really that good. I think I need to roll. I mean, expertly played. I am just master tier. This is how easy it is to win this game. Like, you don't even have to be good. You can basically be like an idiot monkey and just click random shit and still do fine in this game. So if anybody's curious what it's like to be able to play like really suboptimally and still win, just find Lordies, you know, no problem. Honestly, the $120 bundle is pretty cool. I wish it gave more things, I guess. Like, I wish it added, like, Peter Pants is fine, and Super Pan is definitely cool, and the emotes are certainly cool. Alright, so all we need is that this Medusa doesn't hit our Angry, and then we're going to be able to win this one just fine. Huddle me already. Appreciate the follow. Alright, so we're going to kill him here for sure, right? I don't see how we can't kill him. This Princess Right is about to the point where she needs to be replaced. She's a little bit too small now. It's close. We're in the world where we really need to snag like an Echo Wood at this point. Like, I would replace this with an Echo Wood. I don't mind Bossy, but I don't really want to spend 12 gold to try and get the Dwarven Forge. I think we've kind of, the ship has sailed on that a bit. Kind of feels bad passing all these good boys. But that is the nature of dwarves, is that there's just not a lot on tier 6 for us. So is it worth to try and find a tier 2 treasure to like get the spinning wheel? Probably not. I think we just roll and then take our L if we don't find anything here. I think we'll buy this chicken and then just hope that we're good enough to survive this combat. Waddle on 6, and he's been there for a while. Yeah, it was actually more than minus 12 because we had Fool's Gold, so it was actually more like minus 16. We did buy a chicken, so technically it was probably like minus 15. So we're fine. Minus 15, not a problem, right? I mean, like, outside of getting super scammed with these cupids here, we're actually not that weak. Hit here. No, not over there. Oh, that's fine. Okay, now hit here. No. Now you hit the cupid. Alright, so we get another attack on that. Okay, we're actually fine here. Do we have enough units left alive to kill him? No. But we have our Fool's Gold, so we're rich here. So we're just gonna doom roll for more Lordies. I mean, I will take this because the ring does give us a lot more stats if we don't find the Lordies. And for 2, I think it's worth the spec. I think we already have 2 doublies. I don't know if we need another one here. It's close. Doubly is really good with this, but I'd rather just save the gold and look for Lordies. Lordies that aren't real. How are you like this game? Okay, so we did find this. I am going to pick it up. We didn't find it, so we'll skip. And that's okay. Because we can roll a couple more times to try and lock a Lordy, which we didn't find. So we have not improved in like 3 turns, but that's okay. Next round we're just going to get 2 Lordies. Yeah, that could be. Just another doubly might be worth it. I mean, a regular doubly is only about this much stats anyway. Though I guess we do get another +2. And ideally we would want to replace Right with either a Lordy or an Echo Wood at this point, I think. Yeah, it's an extra 14 plus another 2 here, so it's an extra 20. It's not bad. I don't know what he's playing at this point, which could have changed pretty dramatically. Tier 5 treasure, not worth 10 gold here. We really need another Lordy here. Pick up the chicken. If we don't find a Lordy or an Echo Wood, we are almost certainly going to get second, which, given how well this game was played, I think is fine. So we found it, but it's like a bit too late. Unfortunate. Usopp, appreciate the follow. Because this is what, 2, 3, 4. So we can't actually get it, so we're stuck with this 3340 here. The Fanny is a little bit more stats, but it's not going to be as many stats as the Princess Right. So I think this is the comp that we end on, because it is unlikely that we're going to tie. Either we're going to win by a lot or we're going to lose by a lot. If he's still on that Cupid nonsense, then... Oh no, there was the Wonder Waddle on the Cupid nonsense. Well, I have no idea what he's playing. Maybe he's playing a bunch of Medusas. Yeah, it's +6/+6. So it's like, it is close to this amount of stats, but it really is kind of about a horse apiece. We really need to get like 1 extra trigger on this. Nice, so we did. So this Echo Wood is a bit of a problem. We need to kill this Medusa. Okay. Oh, fuck me. Tree of Life. I mean, this thing ended as a 45-52, so is it better than a 45-52 there? I don't know if it would have been. The way that some of those attacks went were not ideal for us. The Lordy does buff all the minions, so it does put the extra buff there. So, effectively, she would have had to have been worth like a 45-50 worth of stats. It's an extra trigger from Lordy, but it's really only an extra +2/+2. I could be wrong. I definitely could be. It's really hard to calculate the math on it, also counting in for all the death here too. Because it ends up being +6 here, so Salty's right. So it's so let me mark this real quick, and then we'll bring it up. Okay, so we'd be looking at putting an extra +2/+2 on all of our units and +6 here. So that's an extra 2. Maybe. I think we lose too many stats if we do that. Because then the Angry wouldn't have procced at all. He would have died in one hit. He went down to pretty low for the second one. It was really you lose one dwarf because you could sell Princess, right? Yeah. It would have been close. Him having the Echo Wood and getting, because he got maximum amount of attacks on his Echo Wood triggers to make it 110, and then his Pumpkin summoned in such a way that we ended up, like, combat RNG was really weird there. It might have been right. It's very possible. I mean, I think like the Lordy doubly math is one of the more interesting things in this game that doesn't come up a lot. Because it just, in a perfect world you have the Echo Wood, you have your upgraded Lordies and stuff, but we spent 50 gold and found nothing. Like no real improvement. I mean, this is the same board that we had 4 turns ago with Princess Right having a little bit more stats, But yeah, it very well could have been. I mean, because you're looking at what, 2 times 9, plus another 12 from the doublies. That's 30 plus 20 from the chick in the back, plus another 8 from that. I mean, yeah, absolutely there. I think that Bossy in 7 and the Fanny in 6 would have been better there by a little bit. It would have been pretty similar stats, but they would have been spread out on more units. But Echo probably would have been better there even. It's really weird because the Echo would have been like... Would it though? Assuming that Angry triggers, yes, it would have been. I think assuming that Angry triggers there, it would have been a lot more stats. But if Angry doesn't go off, then she's like, what, a 40-40? He did end up triggering 3 times there, so it would have been a lot more stats. Because if we're playing down a unit, we'd have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it would have been 5 times 7. So it would have been, what, a 50-50? And then every time Angry triggered, it would have been a lot more. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's a line that I hadn't considered. I think I'll jump in another one. Would it have been a 90-90 with just a regular one? Oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so it's 5 dwarves, so it's giving 10-10, right? So times 7. So that'd be 70. So but 71, and then if angry hits, then it's immediately much larger. So yeah, that stat-wise, that would have been, yeah, that counts in the 2 Tripolies. Because there's, or am I, no, sorry, you're right, it is 90, because I was considering them doublies, right, where it just adds 1, so they're adding 2 each. So it's 10 times 90, yeah. Yeah, that would have been awesome, yeah. So I like either Mask or Galahad here for our options. I'm not sure which is truly better. I think I've been really impressed with Galahad lately, especially if you end up in Dwarves, honestly. Yeah, dude, the math is hard on that, especially when you're trying to do it in the middle of, in the middle of the shop, right? I think Echowood, on average, ends up being better most of the time, I would say, than almost any of your other options. Yeah, I like Galahad. I mean, I like Mask too, but I think Galahad is probably just one of the better champions. So we'll go ahead and grab him here. I find that he, playstyle-wise, ends up being very similar to Merlin, where you just get a lot of free stats. Or you can get a lot of free stats, depending upon how your run-out ends up. I find that he is really good with dwarves if you pick up like Dwarven Forge. Doublies end up getting, obviously, extra increase from the hero power on him, which is really nice. So we get free buff on this because he wasn't going to be able to attack us there anyway. I don't mind Crafty. I don't mind Baby Dragon either. I think we're going to take the Baby Dragon and do something like this, especially because there's a puppy in the game. With Pup the Magic Dragon, you really want to have some sort of backline interruption. Otherwise, it's really hard to win against him early. We'll have to see if this Merlin actually found a spell. If he did, we very well may lose this combat. Which will be sad because we'll lose the Magic Research, but if he didn't find a spell and he just bought 2 units, then it'll be pretty good for us, I think. Elcast, appreciate the follow. It looks like he did find a spell, and he apparently got a Polywoggle with a spell on his turn 1, which is unfortunate because now we lose our buff here. Really, we're trying to pick up pairs. Obviously, there's nothing in here that even resembles a pair. We are against Avella, so I think we're going to pick up the Poly. I don't love Kitty Cuppers. I find it to be pretty medium, especially long-term. I think we'll just pick up something like this. We are likely going to be losing against Avella here, especially if you found a cat. That they just get too many free attack for our units, but that's okay. I'm going to lead with the Baby Dragon in case they got a Mad Mim. Gives us a chance of actually clearing a unit before we attack. Before they attack. So they did have a Mad Mim, but they also got a buff on it. Yeah, welcome. It's a super fun game, and definitely try to provide as much information about why I'm thinking about what I'm buying as I can. I wish we were a little stronger. I wish we had something like a Mad Mim or something that would give us a little bit of attack. And we're pretty far away from hitting any treasures here. I don't know if we're strong enough to be able to justify the pig. We are fighting against Pup, which means we have a decent shot, but I think it might be a little bit risky here. Gold ergo sum, appreciate the follow. This is interesting. I am going to take the pig, though I don't love it necessarily. I'm going to cast the Spinning Gold and just roll. We really need to find some element of a pair. So this has been a disaster. We managed to kill a unit, though, so we got that going for us. This pup is huge, unfortunately. We'll pick this up because it's a pair. In a perfect world, I would like to take this doubly and even possibly the blind mouse, like maybe shrink and pick up a bunch of these. But we really can't afford to take a lot of 1/1s without being closer to a treasure. So we're going to roll. I think in this realm, we're going to need to take this lucky. Cats without any support is really pretty bad. Maybe we have to take the Darkwood Creeper to get some attack on these units. Don't really love that, but this having 1 attack is pretty terrible. Loki is likely going to smash us again. Not sure how I can arrange this that is better than this. So I'd rather both of these attack. Again, I like being dwarves with Galahad, but we really need to get a treasure so that we can get a little bit more tempo because we're extremely behind this game. This is not going very well, I'm gonna be honest. Our dragons just like repeatedly running into stuff like an upgraded unit has been pretty sad. We did manage to kill an extra unit there. We got a little bit of extra attack on our happy little tree, which is nice. Again, I think we're a little too weak for the Brave Princess as well. And I don't think we're strong enough for the Adventurer. Without any supports, this has been a really ugly game. This does give us a path to a treasure here, and we can pick up the pair of pigs and just put the Polywoggle back in our hand. So something like that, and then we'll roll. Alright, so this will be a better turn next turn. So we're going to take another L against Mad Catter, and then we should be able to get a lot stronger next turn. Yeah, I mean, that'll certainly happen. You know, having games where you really just don't find enough are not that uncommon with Galahad. We do have a Polywoggle in our hand already, and we're going to be giving it plus a bunch of stats here. I think I would like to take the unicorns first, and then get those tripled up to get the most amount of stats on our pig here. Hit this again. That's okay. We're probably going to take more damage because we didn't actually manage to kill that. Kill here. Doesn't matter. We'll kill one of them. So him having Wish Upon a Star there and us being too weak to interact with it really is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, so I'm going to take the 2 unicorns first. So that gives us some options. We could take Ring of Meteors, which actually does scale up our attack with the Creeper, which I think is correct here. The Chili Bee, appreciate the follow. I do like Hermes Boots because we have the dragons, but I don't really care that much about these dragons, so I'm sort of over it. I think Meteors, with what we've got, is correct. So we'll pick up the pig. That gives us some decent options. It may be that we need to take Power Orb to make our units in general stronger. We could take Haunted Helm, slap our Polywoggle in the front slot, and start attacking for 6 with it. I don't hate that as an idea. And just try to flip our Poly. Power Orb is okay, but +1/+1 is not that substantial. Maybe the extra attack is just better and we can do that play anyway. So I'm going to cast Earthquake as well. It gives us a higher chance of actually proccing. We're going to rearrange our units a little bit. Now that this is a bit bigger of a unit, we can put this in the back line, gives this more attack. Lineup probably isn't 100% ideal, but we did proc our Poly, which is good. Unfortunately, we lost both of our dragons, so we're going to get fucked up by this Court Wizard here. That was not exactly what I would have wanted to hit there. So hit over here. Yeah, okay. So that ended up working out, and we're going to have a shit ton of extra gold here. So suddenly super strong is absolutely correct. We actually ended up with a decent unit here. I wonder if something like Lady of the Lake is correct at this stage. And possibly the Nutcracker. Given that we can trigger this in a couple of turns, and we can get this Lancelot a bit closer with this, I don't hate it. Because these dragons are pretty disappointing here. And I don't mind both of these units. We can kind of rearrange it something like this, or even like this. I don't mind this spell, but I think we can look for something a little bit better. This is functionally the same thing. We can give a little bit more attack to our Lady of the Lake. I think I'd rather roll once. Basically just being offered the same spell over and over. EXP would be better. Okay, so we did get EXP there, which is nice. I like leading on Lancelot here so that he gets a chance to attack. He has a decent amount of front line, and if he slays, that's pretty nice for us. Our back line is a bit weak, but I think this is our strongest board outside of fighting Pup, the Magic Dragon here. So we got a slay, that's nice. We got 2 triggers on this, which is great. If we hit here, we get another one. Oh no, we don't, because of the Baba Yaga. But we are plenty strong enough to beat this combat here, and we get extra attack on our Happy Little Tree, which is nice. This thing now having a lot of attack is really important. Obviously, the Happy Little Tree looked very disappointing for the first several turns, but once we picked up the Creeper plus the Ring, we were kind of able to scale out of it. So how close does this get us? Not quite there, right? Yeah. If we can find the plus 7/7, I would probably use it on Lancelot. But for now, I think we roll. I'm going to grab the chicken. The Medusa might be okay. I'm just not sure where we put it. It would have to be over like the pig or the tree, but I think we need the tree for a little while longer to scale up some more attack. We do trigger our Cinderella, though. So we might consider picking up Cupid and using Candy Rain. That's actually interesting to think about. I think I'll pass on the Candy Rain, but I think I will take the Cupid. This ends up being decently strong as well. Then we'd have to give up on those. Alright, I gotta roll a little bit faster here. So we'll buff that. We'll take Rune Stones. Cast that, run out of time, obviously. Didn't end up putting the Cupid in. Hopefully we don't die here because I thought too long. We really need to hit this unit, I think. So it did trigger, which is nice, but this is going to be able to steal something. Which is a bit of a problem. Especially given how large our unit is there. So he's going to trigger his Hercules no matter what. We'll be fine. And we get a tier 5 treasure. We get a tier 6 treasure with the Rune Stones. So we get Magic Sword, Double Spell, or Evil Eye. So Evil Eye gives us plus 10 attack. It's almost certainly just going to be Magic Sword here. We'll figure out something to put there that makes sense. Hey, Takoi. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I don't think Prince Arthur is what we want to be doing. I think we just want to roll. Baba Yaga is good with Lancelot, but I'm not sure that's the strategy that we want to be employing here long term. I am interested in this Cupid and this Happy Little Tree. I think we can give up on this Dragon pair even though it is a bit awkward. We might just give up on this pig. No, we don't want that. We can make that good. We can pick up this pair. I want to put one of these cupids in. Maybe it's over this. That position was not ideal. Maybe it'll end up being fine, but it was not exactly what I would have wanted. I think putting Cupid in the front and just deleting one of his backline units would have been fine there. So that's going to hit here, and then we're going to hit there. Outcome was not 100% what we should have had there, but I keep letting myself run out of time because I'm a noob. I think we can get rid of Power Orb now and switch it for something like Hidden Cache. Ideally, we would be looking to maybe replace this pig with something a little bit stronger here. This is decent. Not sure that's where we want to be in our life. This is great, though. I don't think we need any of this, so we're going to skip. I will take Falling Stars, because that's going to give us a bit more attack on our Lady of the Lake. I actually think we might be able to do something like this, or even like this now. We don't really need this Cupid to have that much more stats. We're getting to the point where a Soul Tech might be a good pickup as well. Game, please. Alright, so I actually do think I like a Soul Tech here. Maybe quite a bit, actually. Maybe the Cupids just should be behind the Soul Tech. That's interesting. Oh, we could have bugged the game out. Oh man, that was the ideal strategy. We should just put both Cupids behind the Soul Tech, and then we could have bugged the whole game. Man, that feels bad. If anybody is not aware, if you have a Soul Tech and 2 Cupids behind it, and your opponent Cupid's a Cupid, and you don't have another backline unit here, it's dead, or it kills itself or whatever, your Cupids will just shoot each other forever until the game crashes, and then the lobbies are 0 for everybody. Because you can never get out of combat. Which is very fun, but a bit degenerate, perhaps. I do think I'm actually going to pick up the Cupid triple, because that'll let us pick up more Cupids later if we want. And we're really looking to maybe put like a good boy in the front slot anyway. Harvest Moon. Interestingly enough, if we put a Mermaid here, we could Harvest Moon and double attack. I've heard worse things. Like, double attacking with our frontline unit here doesn't seem terrible. These are both pretty useless for what we've got. We're not summoning anything, and Mittens is not where we're at, so I guess we take that. I think we can get rid of the Hidden Cache now. Our next one we're going to get rid of is the Ring of Meteors, probably. These are all bad, so we're going to roll. We could Pigmorph, which is decent. We could take Ashwood, which is also decent, because it's this, this, and this, and we could put this in. Yeah, that's probably fine, actually. So we can do this and rearrange it like something like this, maybe. Unfortunately, his dragon hit the one unit that is not ideal for us, but I believe that we're plenty large enough to survive here. Yeah, double attack Scam Dragon also sounds great. I shouldn't have taken out Lancelot because he would have had a chance of attacking twice. I was thinking about it, and I, again ran out of time because that'd be like that sometimes. Yeah, so let's keep an eye out for something that makes sense here. Something like a Medusa. I think this extra attack is nice here, given what we're looking at here. Robin Hood would be like a 30 attack ranged unit. Yeah, it's pretty good. We could take the dragon to scam in the front row here as well. Also doesn't seem bad. I think we have a lot of really good units here, actually. I think we can swap out the Lady of the Lake. We could protect both of these with the... it might be this. Give us another ranged unit in the back. So Scam is where, for example, the Doom Breath attacks and just kills 3 of their units if they don't have something protecting it. Or maybe you have a bunch of Medusas and Cupids, and the Medusas and Cupids are able to sort of steal the game from that. So when people are talking about Scam, they're talking about something that feels really bad when it happens against you, and is normally not an ideal strategy, but can sort of cheese a win anyway. But you basically get a lot of value out of it. I'm trying to decide if I want to lock this and if this is the right configuration. I think it's close. I don't know if I want it, but... so he has Excalibur here, but it looks like he hasn't really gotten it going. The double attack on the Lancelot, obviously awesome. So we should be okay, I think, because we have the big Cupid in the back. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so the dragon is good, but our major opponent is like Loki, who already has a Soul Tech. So in a world where we know that our opponents already have Soul Tech, is it really that good, or does it just feel like it would be good? Yeah, now I think we can pick up the Gloves of Thieving and get rid of the Ring of Meteors, and then swap this out. The Darkwood Creeper did a lot of good work for us. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. The Prized Pig could turn into a big mermaid, but it's not super likely that that happens, so I think we can roll away from that. So here's our mermaid. So we can pick it up and actually put this in the front here, and then this Cupid will just kill 2 of their backline units, which I think is probably good enough to justify. Is Soul Tech going to be large enough to make this worthwhile? Maybe it's just better to be like this. And then maybe we just don't even run the Soul Tech. Oh yeah, I did need to sell for gloves. No, I fucked up. Holy shit. He got to attack first, and he got to dunk me there. Ugh. Gross. We're going to be fine here, and we're going to kill our opponent, but, like, that was like a nightmare scenario with the way that ended up working out. I did that to myself, though, for sure, because we didn't even need this to be there. We could double Medusa, actually, in the front as well. Like, we can have Medusa here, and we will be able to double Medusa against our opponent, which is interesting. More interesting than most things. We can't really afford to put another Cupid in. A lot of good options, though. I think it's possible that I like it like this more, but we really need... Well, maybe this is better, because we want Robin Hood pumping the Medusa here, and then I think that's okay. Like, we could do it something like this. Let's roll. I don't think we have room for another Cupid. Another mermaid is not super necessary. We can upgrade the Galahad here. Huge pumpkin. Not ideal. We don't actually care if this upgrades. Yeah, this is like a 50 attack ranged. Okay, so basically we're going to sell one of these units and roll again, probably the pig. Okay, so basically here's what's going to happen is in theory, we're going to kill 2 of his backline units with this. And then assuming that Medusa is still alive, that should kill 2 of his frontline units. And hopefully that's good enough to win here. Or he'll just attack first and kill our unit and then nothing happens. That is also a possibility. So I guess we're not going to win this combat then, given that. Are we dead here? No, we're at 10. Okay, so that was less than ideal. I would like to look for a spell, a tempo spell of some sort. Yeah, getting the statue feels really bad there. We really should have ended up with one of his backline units, but we'll count it as gold. We need to... I mean, maybe we need to scam him with Doom Breath here. Thinking about his units, this would kill most of them. Do we even need... Like, maybe Ashwood is just too small. We could possibly put in this pumpkin. And then maybe the Ashwood is still fine. It makes the Robin Hood better. But, like, then this happy little tree is unnecessary. Alright, so we'll do this. This, I think, is still fine. Maybe this, because we want this to happen first. And then we can do something like this. And then roll for a tempo spell. Alright. Yeah, we have almost no evil, but we have enough. I didn't put the pumpkin in anyway. Alright, well, our scam is going to end up working here. I did want to put in the evil one over the Lady of the Lake, but I messed up in my positioning. This should have been a pumpkin. Okay, these gloves have been really terrible because I don't really want to sell any of these units, because if we hit round table, I want the trees to be able to dump back in. Alright. How about 100 Storm King? It's not actually that bad. We might end up putting that in. This would have certainly been more useful there, I think. The fact that this got +2/+2 is unfortunate. Because now the mermaid, like, gets the buff instead. Maybe we just want the other one. Okay, so how are we going to arrange this? So I think we put this in, then that makes this better, because then this buffs this, but then this is not very good. And then if we win, we don't actually care about our hand size. That was pretty terrible. We need to hit here. Okay. Alright, so we get to kill this one. That's actually good for us. That was bad for us. Alright, we lose. We needed to shoot this in order for that combat to work, so it's alright. I think those last couple turns could have been played a little bit better, and we might have been able to actually win that. I think, like, the turn prior, the one where we lost, we would have had a way of winning with a better lineup. But I don't mind the scam here. But yeah, good game on that one. So mark this. Alright, we finally recovered back to where we started. We are now +2 from where we started even. Times at 6:45. Yeah, the gloves was a mistake. Sometimes that happens. Ginger Nation, appreciate the follow. Chickens, you as well. Yeah, we ended up having just like so much stuff and then missing that extra unit from the gloves that was actually a good unit was really problematic there, I think. But, you know, that'll happen sometimes. So we'll go ahead and go another one. I believe that I have enough time for maybe one, maybe two more games. Let's see. Yeah, I have enough time for maybe two more games. Alright, so I have been unimpressed with Skip a lot lately, but I think it is still the best choice here. Go ahead and add that. Basically, it feels like if you get a bad run out on Skip, you just, in the couple, like the first 3 turns, you don't really have the tools because you don't have the treasures to recover. And then you're just fucking behind all game. This is pretty good, actually. I don't love being or forcing dwarves on Skip, but I find that Tweedledee is acceptable as a unit, and then putting a Fanny with it makes it a little bit stronger as well. Yeah, Pug, the new patch notes are just a very small hotfix. I think they're just, it's like stability, kind of. Not much of a patch. Not every patch needs to be a huge one, especially with how small their team is. It's kind of hard to keep up with tons of patches, at least with a lot of changes. But there were some errors I know with like the practice mode and some other things that got improved, I think, with this. Or it was like locking up and you'd have to restart the client, so I think they fixed some of those things. I think we are not going to be able to win this because this is about the same strength unit. But taking min damage here is not so bad. Losing the first 2 rounds on Skip is not uncommon. Wow, I wish I had 1 more gold. Being able to pick up both Fanny and Lucky would be really strong here. I actually do think that Fanny is almost always going to be correct over the Lucky because it is representing 6/6 worth of stats versus just the 3/2. I think Cinderella is pretty bad on Skip because you really don't have the time to cast a lot of spells. But I think it is correct to just like play more units and then just hope that our opponent doesn't have a dragon. We're going to put this in the back as dragon bait in case they do have a baby dragon. Hopefully it'll hit here instead of the Fanny. So we're looking pretty good here, actually. We should win this. Alright, great. So we stopped the bleeding already. Being at 34 on Skip is very, very healthy. So we're in a pretty good spot. There's quite a few units on 4 that are very good for us. We could also just pick up 2 units here. And then just hold some gold for next turn, which I think is what we're going to do. I don't love True Love's Kiss. It's a bit too random. But snagging a Lucky here to pair with this Fanny and then the chicken, I think is acceptable. Again, we're going to arrange them like this. We want the maximum amount of time for Fanny to be kind of doing its thing. And then we can move into our next turn with an extra chunk of gold from the chicken, which, because we'll be on 6, will let us buy 2 4-drops if they show up for us. Interestingly, I don't mind picking the Cinderella up, and even if we don't end up using it for anything more than just a 2/2 for a couple of turns and then getting rid of it, and never triggering the quest, is fine, because we'll just never see it in the shops ever again. Once you've taken any of the quest units one time, you never see them again. So there are worse things than snagging a unit like that early on. So we don't end up taking any damage here, which is awesome. As Skip, you don't really need to worry about dealing out damage, you need to worry about taking less damage. So the less damage that you take, the stronger that you are going to be as as skip because you already have 12 gold worth of EXP invested in yourself, right? I think we can pick up both of these. This seems pretty great. Extra economy. We might be strong enough just to grab the 4 glory here, actually. So there's 2 considerations. I can either pick up the stag, like sell the chicken, pick up the stag, and do that. I think we can just pick up 4 glory, rearrange the units a little bit, like this maybe, to get still the most support on these, and then these being 3-2 is fine. We are against Avella, that's true. Given that we're against Avella, maybe we lead these in the front then. Possibly something like this. Yeah, I mean, Avella can be super strong. I don't know if the 4 glory... The stag really isn't that good either. It doesn't seem like they actually have tokens. It turns out they have almost no hero power here, interestingly. We're going to be a little bit weak because they have the Queen of Hearts, but they didn't smash us the way that you would imagine Avella to have smashed us. Like, I would have expected to take more damage there. We'll take the Fairy Godmother because it's free. I don't know if we're actually going to be running it because we have actual 0 good units. I think we can roll, though. Are we healthy enough that we can take Wish Upon a Star and just go straight to 5? It's pretty close, actually. It's pretty close. We're a little bit weak as far as our attack is concerned because we don't have any real supports beyond this. But I don't imagine that we're going to get that much stronger with what we have on tier 4. So I am going to take it, and then I'm going to roll once. Baba Yaga isn't really it. I don't like selling Fairy Godmother to pick up one of these units. I mean, Godmother is certainly better than just a 2-2 chicken here. The only unit that I would really consider is the Friendly Spirit, and I don't really want to sell a bunch of units to get one, so we're going to sit for right now. And we are getting to our super early 6, hopefully. If we could be at 20 when we hit turn 6, I think that would be fine. That was really good for us. Getting an extra gold next turn, and also trading favorably with units should allow us to be healthy enough to live here. So if we take this and actually complete the quest, oh my god, this is going to be so good. Yes, we could have potentially paid 8 for a tier 6 unit. I'm not a huge fan of doing that. And the reason that I don't think paying 8 for a tier 6 unit is there are 15 tier 6 units, and like 5 of them or 6 of them are hot dog shit with no support. Like Echowood would be literally just a 1-1. There's so many that are really bad. We could Bear Mom here. That doesn't seem bad. They are a little bit weak on the attack front, which is a bit awkward. It may be strong enough to lead us into turn 6, though, and we could pick something up to support them after that. I think I like picking up this Siren as well. And then possibly casting the Witch's Brew on it. And then we can get a treasure next turn. It would be nice to have some treasures. So how are we arranging our double bears here? Certainly we want them in the front. We want this ahead of that. I don't mind the economy from the Luckies, but I find that they're pretty weak here. So I think we need the extra stats from the second Tweedledee. It's close. Maybe this is correct. Maybe this is correct. It is probably more consistent than Greedy, yeah. This is kind of spooky. Has a good chance of farming us, especially with this giving him extra stats. Yeah, I think you're maybe right with the extra more consistency than Greedy there. Luckily, we have this Siren, which hopefully can get us enough extra units to allow us to be able to win this combat as well. Because being at 29 hitting tier 6 is Great. Okay, so that's great for us. So we're good here. Yeah, we would have had an extra 2 gold then. So that certainly would have been correct in that spot. Because I think this took 1 shot and died anyway. So we're on tier 6, and we found basically fuck all. I mean, I don't mind the Siren if we can make it good with this, but without it, it's pretty bad. I am going to pick up the Sporko for sure. Sporko being pretty good with these. But I think I'll let the Siren go and try and see if we can get a tier 6. I mean, this Ashwood Elm is extremely early, right? Most of the people are still on 4. I do think a 2020 just raw stats is worth considering. I also like this Disintegrate, so I think we can do both. So I'm going to cast the Disintegrate first. And we're going to take Spinning Wheel. This will actually let us sort of have enough gold to play on 6. And then we need to sell some of these units. So basically these. Maybe this. Like these 3. Actually, we can hold on to the Greedy. So we'll sell these. We'll just switch it out like this. And then I think we're going to lead on our 2020. We are going to give up this Greedy. I guess I don't even know why I cared about any of these units. Beyond the Lucky Pair, the rest of them are shit. Unfortunately, we're going to get fucking blasted with this Mummy here. That is not ideal. That was pretty good for us. If this hits the Donkey, we had a chance, but not hitting the Donkey feels really bad. So that was unfortunately really awkward. I mean, a Mummy there is something that I should have been playing around and I wasn't, so that's kind of on me. The way that we would play around that is by using a Merlin buff on one of them. I actually weirdly don't mind the Heartwood Elder here on this, but I think it might be better just to roll for one of the other 6s. Because this certainly is not a good unit. I don't really need to pick up this Friendly Spirit, and this was more of a temporary. So I think I'm just going to roll, even though this is not bad. I don't have a second tree to even buff, so of course I just roll right into him. I think I'll try to force into trees then. So I think I'll take this and this, and then I'm going to sell 2 units to actually pick this up too. What 2 units am I selling? I guess we give up on the Luckies here. So we'll do that, and then we can use this to protect our backline some. Do we want to protect it this way, or do we want to protect it like this and not worry about the Sporko as much? I don't think we want these. I think I'm gonna look towards trees. We're here very early. We should have plenty of time to get trees. Okay, this will hit here. And then this is gonna bop there. So we're definitely fine health-wise. This is a tree, but we're looking more for like tier 6s. Good Boy is still pretty good here. I'm not sure if I want to be Good Boys. Maybe it's still right anyway. Forcing trees is maybe not ideal, since we only have 1. An unbuffed Good Boy is pretty bad, so not having any treasures kind of blows. Like, it'd be an 8-5 and be giving it on 3 units. Yeah, I think I'm going to go over it. That could be incorrect. It's possible that we were supposed to switch this out with Cupid and just try it anyway. But I think I'm in the market to do trees. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I'm going to lock for this treasure, given that we only need 1. I'm going to put this Robin Hood in over the Medusa, I think. Possibly... Yeah, Ambrosia would be good. There's a couple of treasures that are pretty good on tier 5 that I would pay 5 gold for, so... we're not in an awesome spot here, but it could be a lot worse. That was probably the worst attack for us. This should hit this bear. Okay, that's good. Alright, so this is going to hit here. This will hit this. I'll hit that. Okay, we're still going to be fine. Not even close. Easy game. Alright, so we'll get the 4 glory, so we'll get an extra unit, which was a Lordy. Doesn't really matter too much there, but... so Hand of Midas, I think, is correct. We want treasures with our units, but we do have an opportunity here to find a good tier 6. Grumble is okay, but I think we can find one of the trees. An upgraded Good Boy, though, might be good enough. Now that we have the Robin Hood as well. Now that is interesting. Yeah, we can get the trees at any point. I don't really give a shit about the attack on the baby bear. That just doesn't matter. And I don't really care that much about having the extra attack on the good boy. It's mostly for the health at this point, because our trees all have a ton of health. But I think this is going to make us a lot stronger in the short term. And it'll, in theory, let us pick up a Echo Wood if we get one. We can put it over the Fairy Godmother. Now we're on the lookout for Beauty. The Beauty spell to make like the Ashwood good. Yeah, we're still plenty strong. There are still people on 5 yet. This Zelhua at 36 is a bit scary. We'll take this. It's pretty good. And then we'll roll. Roll again. The Sadrak was playing, like, Royals. I don't really care about Kidnap then. We could pick up the pair of Soltacs. Soltac might end up being better than, like, the Apple Tree. Or we could put the Apple Tree in the back and we can just have a full protected back line. It is probably better than the Bears. Yeah, that I agree with. Because the Bears are really only good with the Godmother, and since we're not playing this, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, you're right. That's true. That's a good call. Yeah, then that's definitely better. Is this layout correct, or is it still like this? And then we just leave this not protected? Kind of feels a bit awkward. But we definitely want this to be bigger. And I guess I don't give a shit about this Green Knight, right? Like, I don't really need him to live in the back line. Apple up here. Yeah, maybe I don't even need to worry about the Soltec buff. Like, that might not be necessary. That's probably correct. Because it's redundant here. Like, if we're not protecting both of these, then it just doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a respectable call there. I mean, what is it like to just have it all? You know, some people can ask. Yeah, that's a hell of a spell. And then now we have the Echo Wood. So I wonder if it's interesting here. Now I wonder if the Echo Wood is worth if the Apple Tree is worth here, or if we just leave this as is. Because we want the good unit for the extra pump on the good boy, so that the Echo Wood actually gets more health, right? Because the health is going to be more important than this. The question is, do we want the second Echo Wood? I don't think we can afford it. It's close, though. I think the Robin Wood is still going to be better because it buffs the good boy. Yeah, I think this configuration is probably correct. Another Pangolin. I appreciate the follow. Yeah, good game, Vero. That was a pretty wild run. That was on stream too, so hopefully he doesn't hit our good boy. So it looks like he has a lot of pumpkins in the back, so that's going to be kind of spooky. Why does this have no health? I missed something. Well, that's not ideal. Oh, good, I had 1 toughness. Well, we got scammed, I guess. So that's reasonable, I guess. Yeah, only 100 more of those. Yeah, that was a really reasonable game. That's exactly the outcome that I would have expected to happen there, given that my luck recently, but I don't think upgraded units should be dealing that much damage. Full stop. If you want my opinion on it, upgraded units should deal 2 instead of 3. The fact that we were above half life and we died in 1 combat is... We were at exactly half, right? We were at 20, and we just died to not an entire board full of upgraded units. Like, yeah, Half-Life 3 is exactly it. So, alright, well, we'll go up our 2. Okay. That was not ideal. That was a bit of a troll ending on that game. Yeah, I have enough time for 1 more at least. So I'd still like to get some food before raid, I think. I mean, I don't mind pumpkins summoning, like, legitimate units or even upgraded units. I just think that upgrades in general shouldn't hit that hard. Oh, I mean, none of the raids are really stressful for me at all. I'm the main tank, so I control a lot of the flow of how the combat ends up going, and a lot of the content that we're doing right now is on farm, so it should be in there for like an hour-ish, and then we'll be done. So it's kind of a Loki or a Mad Catter game, I think. Assuming that we don't want to get scammed, we should probably play Mad Catter. Would be my guess. Could be Loki. I don't know. I really should have a poll thing set up. Like maybe we'll get to a point where we're high enough that I can play on an alt and we just have viewers pick the content for whatever hero I take. I think I'm gonna take Mad Catter here. I played a Loki game earlier. But it is close either way, I think. They're both similarly difficult. Yeah, for as far as rating, I mean more. Oh man, I think it's got to be free roll. I'm talking about TBC Classic, so it's not very difficult. We're gonna free roll and take this. It's just almost always correct. It's just +2. That was actually a good starting board, but I mean we're not gonna lose combat with a 3/7 unless our opponent picks an egg. By Muerte. That will be unlikely. Unless they change around his hero power to make it so that all of your last breaths are doubled, I cannot see myself playing Muerte. We're going to roll We're going to buy this Poly, which is fucking awesome. Yeah, good game on that one. That combat where you killed me was unfortunate because I was getting close to being able to be a lot stronger than you. Like with the Good Boy and some of the other units that I had, and like I was at 20 and you just killed me in one hit, you know. Upgraded Pumpkin is a little unreasonable right now. We had a bit of a conversation about that where I don't think that upgraded units should be dealing that much damage per hit. I think if they were dealing 2 rather than 3, that would have been plenty. And I would have lived then, in that instance. So here, we got a donkey. It's like pretty good. Here, it's almost always correct to take 2 units. Yeah, the damage does feel reasonable. It just, even if you downgrade the upgraded units, the damage doesn't change that much. If you think about the average board, they maybe have 1 upgraded unit on it. You know, like, I don't know. It's got to be economy this turn. So given that, I think it's probably the biggest unit and then the most valuable one for hitting the back line. So I guess it's probably just this. And then something like this maybe. Yeah, it's an upgraded 6-drop. I don't mind him dealing a bunch of damage from the perspective of, like, smashing you. But, like, I don't see why, if it pops right at the end, that it's reasonable for it to hit me for an extra 16 damage off of what it would have been if I just didn't kill that one unit, you know? So we're going to just, like, win this combat by buying this and playing Falling Stars and just getting a bunch of extra units. Which means we don't really need this tiny in here. I think I can roll. Yeah, we're going to just sell this tiny for this. I'm not really a fan of tiny. Yeah. That was my thought as well, Vero. This looks great. I mean, do we put these in the back, maybe? Just, like, get the free units in the front? Something like this. Yeah, I mean, you're still going to hit people pretty hard with Pumpkin if they were downgraded to 2. Like, it would have changed the amount of damage that I took there by -5. So it's not like it would have destroyed that comp's ability to deal a ton of damage to me either. You know, the difference in 15 versus 20 is not a substantial amount. I mean, that would have killed a lot of players there. That would have killed every other person in the lobby in that exact spot, right? We might get fucked up here. This needs to hit over here to get an extra unit. This needs to hit over here. Wow. I can't believe we lost that combat. Not being able to deal with these stupid Mad Bims in the back was a nightmare. Nightmare scenario. Mad Bim is okay. True. True. I think... Yeah, I do like Mim a lot. Maybe Gingerbread Party? I mean, it would be the other way around, right? You do Gingerbread Party first. Yeah, I could see that. Kind of want to rearrange them like this, maybe then. I want these to be in front. Maybe I do it like this, and just get this donkey to scam in the back. Yeah, so okay, so if we think about the upgrades over the course of a whole lobby, right? The people who are taking the most damage from upgraded units are ones that are low rolling, ones that don't already have upgraded units. But in an instance like this, it is unlikely for me to even take extra damage from these regardless, right? We're going to get farmed here because our opponent has a very large Frog Prince in the front. Oh, we might be okay. Now we're alright. But, whether that lived or not is not a substantial difference between 1 or 2. like, we're not talking about gimping their damage to take it to 0. We're just talking about decreasing it a little bit. I wonder if I actually just roll here to try and get some catter. This I don't hate, actually. Yeah, this I actually like. I don't mind this Polywoggle either. This dragon is useless, so I'm on board with doing this and rolling. Man, it feels so weird. Like, no matter how I no matter how I do this, it's not going to be exactly ideal. Because I don't hate the Mad Mim pair either. But there's not really anywhere to put it. Unless we glue this stupid donkey together. I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll. So we end up getting a Sleeping Princess. She is quite large. Quite large. Large enough that it's better than this, I think. And then we can hold this. Yeah? I mean, that's true. It's the beard, right? So we got some EXP, but looks like we're losing combat pretty badly here. Getting the second EXP would have been ideal, but I'm not sure how the large range unit in the third slot managed to destroy us there, but you know, what do I know? I'm going to take this and roll. That is a big-ass stag. So we're going to wake this up. She's a sleepy bitch. I think I can get rid of the Mad Mim now, and like we can rearrange it something like this, put the stag here, pull this out, put one of these donkeys in the back, one in the front. And then we can go like stag godmother. And then we can hold on to this for now. Is this more necessary, or is this still fine? I think this is better. The reason that I want the bigger unit in front is because ideally this attacks, and then they attack either this or one of these two, so that it's more likely that the stag gets to attack. Him being an 8-9 already makes it so that he's probably not just going to fucking get dunked, but yeah, I think that's probably the case. So this is going to be a pretty good combat for us here. We're going to get some EXP, which is awesome. Donkey's going to come in and do donkey shit. Alright, nice. Okay, so now we're on 5. How early are we on 5? Not super early. There's a couple of other people there. I mean, this mummy just like has to be still correct though, right? It kind of feels bad, but there's almost never a time when we have like what, 3 extra EXP or 2 extra EXP. I think I can roll. Oh my god, this got the buff too. Okay, okay, donkey. Okay. These are all pretty bad, right? That is a huge donkey. Do these do anything? I want this baby bear, actually, with this upgraded donkey. You know what I could do is buy the baby bear. Like, just not take these shitters and get the baby bear instead of this unicorn. Is that just better? Yeah, like, we lose the treasure from the Cinderella, though. But, like, I don't even think it's that big of a deal. Like, it's not awesome, right? I could consider walking the stag. Maybe the stag. Yeah, I mean, it does protect against the mummy, but, like, our opponents shouldn't have a mummy at this point. And then I have the opportunity next turn to potentially buff this before... God, we're not even going to get the EXP because he's so weak. Well, shit. What's protecting us against the mummy is the donkey, right? We'll buy these. Man, you know, it might have been correct to, like, gingerbread party and then buy these. Yeah, no EXP. Feels bad. Big-ass Sporko? It's pretty good. It's not a good unit, but... Where am I going to put all these guys? I got too many guys that I want in my comp here. What am I doing with this big Sporko? It's just like a 7-9 range. Is that even good? Does seem like bait. Maybe this is fine, though. We are going to skip, who did just hit 6. Give her up. She's exploring. What am I going to do if I'm stuck on 5 for 1 extra turn? This is fine. Maybe I don't even care about the Sporko. We're gonna take 4 glory though, and just roll. And then we're gonna rely on this donkey to carry us this round, and then we'll figure out what we're doing next turn. Yeah, I don't actually need the adventurer here because we are already pretty strong, and we can still hit pairs of this. This pair. Maybe I like this. So the donkey has like more opportunity to get health. Unfortunately, that was pretty rough. Him having the Oni King is going to make this Siren a nightmare for us, I think. That was good. That was pretty good for us as well. Okay, so this was all great. I would have liked to have hit this first, but... I don't mind a 13 because we can deal with that with our fucking Mega Donkey here. Okay, and then we get a 4 glory. It's going to give us another 5. It gave us an apple tree. Not ideal, but we can hold on to it. We could always end up in evil pretty easily. Like, yeah, we have the good units here, but it doesn't take much to get dumped into pumpkins. So we can roll. We got an upgraded egg here. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Probably don't want another egg or any egg ever because egg's terrible. I'm going to pick up this chicken though. We could kiss the tree. It's interesting. Sure. See, this is how we end up. We get the pumpkin that we don't want now. We could end it and just gain 6 life next turn and then roll. It's, like, weirdly interesting. Not sure if the 6 life is going to be necessary, though. I think this is just going to be better. Assuming that we actually get the attack with the stag. Like, 13-13 is probably not as good as 18 toughness. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's still fine because we could still very easily be pumpkin, but I don't know if eating 6 is gonna be worth it. Oh man, our stag died again. How are we ever gonna win? We're never lucky. It was almost free. That's true. All right, so. We did fine there. I mean, that wasn't really the game plan, but plans change. I guess we can maybe ride this donkey like 1 more turn potentially, but pretty well past it, I think, right? We're just scamming. Oh, I mean, alright. Well, we scamming now. Alright. Pumpkin. Donkey. Mummy. Dragon? How am I getting this? I want him right now. I'm going to put him in this spot. Are these bears shitty? These tier 3 pairs pretty bad now, right? So maybe we give up on the tier 3 pair. Alright, so we give up on the tier 3 pair. And the tier 4 pair, I guess, is worse than tier 5, because like we could get the summoning portal and the ambrosia, so these are just worse. And then this is just like filler. It's probably just like worse than a mysterious scroll, honestly. Maybe we just do it like this to like leave extra room, because we just don't want fucking baby bears doing nothing. Useless baby bears filling up spots that Pumpkin Kings could be filling up spots seems terrible. This I like. Bearstein's pretty spicy here. Can we hit like here? And that's fine too. You're right, it does eat spots for Donkey too. This is a pretty good unit. Yeah, we got a Lordy. Yeah, get him, Lordy. Alright, wow, this ended up working out okay. Alright, so we got him dead. Which is great. The Slobbies took a lot of damage. I don't know, were we the ones dealing all this damage with this donkey scam shit? It's possible. I think Nian is correct here because it gets us close to a tier 5 treasure and it's good for these. I think this is fine and we roll. Book is fine. I think I'd rather just roll for a 6. Do we play Fireball? Probably Fireball. Yeah, I like this. And then just sit on all this gold and all these treasures. Like I think we're adequately strong to be able to deal with a Gwen who's still in 5. Like, it's definitely going to be hard to lose this, I think. It's possible. I mean, the pumpkins can certainly scam us, too. If Gwen is dwarves, that will be not ideal. But we could just kill an Angry with a Doom Breath. I mean, she doesn't have... Well, she probably does not have Lordy, right? She's still in 6? Or still in 5? So if you don't have Lordy, then you can still scam them unless they have just only Angries. That's fine. We're gonna get shot like 5 times with this thing. Shoot this thing. Yeah, stop shooting me with your stupid guys. Alright, we should be fine here. Given that we have another pumpkin that still hasn't popped yet. Donkey is basically the worst unit forever and ever and ever now that needs to be replaced. Yeah, I'll take the bear treasure for sure. These units are not, or these are not the best treasures, but Staff of the Old Toad is good for piecing this together. I don't mind the Rotten Apple Tree. I don't think it's that good, but I think it's good enough that we can take it and then roll. The rest of this doesn't matter that much. I think 3 Big Pigs is fine, but I really don't love 3 Big Pigs in this comp. Beyond that, the only thing that it really does for you is its tier 6 unit, but it fills up the board with stupid fucking pigs that I just don't want in my life. Every time that I end up in 3 Big Pigs with this, it just, like, my board is full, this dies, they get 2 units, and that's just terrible. So, ideally, we want something better than that. Yeah, and we don't have Grumblegore, so you're absolutely right. So, I think I can get rid of this donkey now and just roll a couple more times, so we're not just doing nothing. Another apple tree is okay. Probably not worth a lock, though. So we really want Grumblegore. I really like Oni King. That's fine, I think. I wish this had died too. No, we really needed that to attack over here. That's unfortunate. Apple Tree is really good there. Oh my god. Nightmare. Okay, so we're not strictly going to lose to that. We could still get some sort of a scam on it. So we do have a Medusa in the back here. It is at the exact opposite. Oh, that we're fine. Never mind. I lied. Easy game. Get scammed, I guess. So, big pigs again. We could take a croc on one of the pumpkins. Normally I would prefer it be upgraded, but I don't mind it on one of them since we don't have it. Helps prevent getting scammed a little bit, and summons another 6. Game Y, why are you like this? I kind of want to save this to, like, kiss it. Maybe I don't care. Probably don't care. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know if I care that much about it. It is good for the Ice Shard too, to switch it into like an Apple Tree or an upgraded Mummy, but if it was already 6, I would care more, but since it's a 5 to start, like, maybe I do just do this. Not sure how you line up pumpkins when you have so many of them. Probably one in the front, but like you want Apple Tree here too. Killing the Medusa is really good for us. Oh, it was a 1-1. Shame. I really need some treasures, I think. We are not in an ideal spot. Attack over here. Alright, we're fine then. We really need a treasure of some sort that's not Staff the Old Toad. This normally would be good, being a 6. But I don't think I can afford to do that without any treasures either. Okay, so that'll help. So we can get an Ambrosia. I think we're going to take Summoning Portal, though. So Ambrosia's nice, but it doesn't really make our units that much better. That's actually... This is interesting. I think it is Portal here because it makes our units a lot stronger. Especially because we have so many pumpkins. I think we can now put a pumpkin in the front. To try and summon more units. Ooh, is this actually an upgrade or is this a downgrade? We get the treasure. The treasure's probably worth it. We're down a unit then. Is that worth doing? Yeah, we get the treasure. The treasure's probably worth it. Spear, for sure. We can lock for the Grumble. I don't think we put the chicken in. I think we just arrange it something like that, maybe. I mean, I can. That doesn't seem like... That seems like too much work. What is happening, game? Chill out. Stop blasting my guys. Stop. I'm getting a bunch of units for free is not ideal here. This living on the attack, though, is pretty nice. We really need to deal with this Oni King, or it's just going to farm the shit out of us. Okay, so that's nice. So we get 2 more of those that are quite large. So we should do pretty well here, I think. Nice. And the summoning portal and the spear together coming in clutch. All right, good game. That was a fun scam game. All right, so mark that as a first. Get our plus 46. We actually climbed today. I'm impressed. That is the first in a couple of streams here. So that puts us at 43.28. So we're just under the top 16 now. We're still almost 200 below my peak. Yeah, I think you're right. I think getting the treasure was certainly worth more than the extra one. Yeah, with the dragon it makes it a little weird too. Because the pumpkin gets more stats, which is nice, which is a lot bigger. The units it summons are upgraded, which is really nice too. And 3 pumpkins is so many pumpkins that it's hard to have enough room to summon that many things without a bunch of them just not getting a maximum value. So the treasure alone is probably worth the combination there over the Grendel, right? Because over the Grumble. Because if Grumble dies, then you're not in a good spot either. So I have about 20 minutes before I got to go raid. So I am going to probably call it here for today, and then we will be back again tomorrow at 11 Central. If you look down below, there should be a timer that'll tell you when I'm going to be online next. Otherwise, if you follow, I will send out a notification. You can check my Twitter as well. The major difference between 4K and 2 to 3K players is probably the number of hours that they played and almost nothing else. Some of the high 4K players still make similar mistakes to what you're going to make when you're 3K. Miramorphic, I do appreciate the follow. A lot of these games that you're seeing us play here, especially if the amount of MMR that I gain is in the low 40s, like 40, 42, 43, means that they're lower MMR than I am, which is not surprising given that I'm in 17th right now. But you will very frequently end up queuing with somebody who is 3K or is 3,200, 3,400. So, yeah, just climb. It's just practice. Most of it is, you see some of the weird plays that I make where I'll hem and I'll haw over something and then I'll just sell a bunch of shit and buy something. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it's kind of feel on whether or not it's going to work. Yeah, then you're doing just fine. All the game is it's practice. You're gonna find players who are coming from other games who maybe sort of have some more of that intuition built up, but the game is not a race, it's a marathon. It hasn't even been out that long. The only reason that a lot of the players that are in the higher have, a lot more experience and all these crowns, these 200 crowns here probably represents 1,000 games. It's a lot of lobbies. It isn't something where you're guaranteed to get first even by playing a ton. Some of the players that I would think are even better than I am, Endo and a few of the others, have been playing this game for months and months and months, or they've just played it a lot more than I have. But they'll still not always win every game. It just, there's no guarantee. It's an auto battler, right? Sometimes you low roll even when you're the best player, or when you think you're doing well, you might just get pumpkin for 25. All right, so let's see who else is on. Let's see if I can raid somebody here. Send you over to some good content at least. Oh, looks like Salty popped on. Yeah, we'll go ahead and send you over to Salty. The winningest player of all Storybook right now. So definitely make sure to let him know that he is the winningest player. He really likes that. I hear he picked that specifically because he is the most winningest. Something to that effect anyway. So again, I really do appreciate everybody for hanging out. Like, subscribe, follow, etc. I will be on again tomorrow, basically every other day this week as well. And then see you next time.